C. 2787. C. 2787 Chen Xiang asked, and found out that the matter of suddenly changing the rules had never happened before, and the reason for the change was mainly because the compet. 1. Tie-in this time round was too easy, which meant that the people partic. 1. P. Aiding, as a whole, were not very skilled, resulting in some people with outstanding strength being able to obtain high marks very easily. Some of the higher-ups of the Yuan S. Hi plus Tao school who came to look frequently saw the problem, and felt that the people in the top 30 were all extremely strong, so they decided to do it now. This is great, the top 30 people won't be separated now. They will meet again this way. That's right. Previously, these guys had left as soon as they learned that someone with strength equal to their own had come here. They were worried that they would be selected and fight evenly with their strength. If they lost, then 10 points would be deducted. Before, Chen Xiang thought that the Yuan S. Hi plus Tao school had intentionally not arranged for the top 30 people to fight with each other, so it turned out that those people used the rules to avoid each other. This way, they would be able to sit stably in the top 30. There are also geniuses with real talent, and a few of them did not avoid each other. They even hoped to fight with each other, but unfortunately, none of them got chosen. Those aquatic animals are definitely afraid of these people. After all, they are true geniuses, not afraid of anything. Chen Xiang listened to the discussions of the crowd, and went to ask them himself. He quickly found out the origins of the geniuses, and understood them somewhat, because they were powerful experts who were very likely to fight him in the future. There isn't much time left now, only the 10th rank has 300 points. If I want to enter the 10th rank, I really need to win 300 matches in a row. This is still quite difficult. Chen Xiang did not want to wait until next year to enter Yuan S. Hi plus Tao school. At the same time, he wanted to test his own strength. Of course, it didn't necessarily take 300 points to enter the top 10, because if the 10th place lost a few matches in a row, his score would definitely drop. Very quickly, 2 top 30 players were selected to fight. This sort of thing would happen quite often in the future. Chen Xiang went to watch the compet. 1. Tie-in as well. The two of them were ranked around 20, which was why many people called them water beasts. Although they were called water beasts, they were still considered strong, stronger than most of the people here. Previously, Liang Yoxing was much stronger than the two of them. If Liang Yoxing wants to enter the top 20, it should only be a matter of time. After the battle ended, Chen Xiang secretly evaluated everything in his heart. The 5th and 12th are arranged together. He's ranked 5th. I remember that guy. He's very strong. It's said that no one has ever been able to get close to him. Just 9 feet away from him, he'll immediately be sent flying. No one can get close to him. Before, he also defeated a guy ranked 20 so easily. Of course, this fellow is famous for being the Murong family. His name is Murong Jin. I heard that his Gate of Wonder is over 90, and the Murong family is known for their sword techniques. He cultivates the murdering sword techniques, although he is not allowed to use weapons, but Murong Jin has already reached the state of condensing his energy and forming his sword. So it's the murdering sword techniques. It's really powerful. Chen Xiang had heard about Murong Jin before, but he did not expect him to be so powerful. If it was really as that person said, then the profound gates opening at 90, then it would definitely be very strong. No wonder no one could be defeated near him. There are indeed crouching tigers and hidden dragons in this 1000 layer. Opening the Gate of Wonders to reach 90 is not an easy feat, Chen Xiang sighed in his heart. He had experienced it himself, and that was because he was using his superior pill techniques to help others. It is said that the top 5 are all so powerful that their profound entrances are opened at least 80 times. Murong Jin's strength is considered very strong as well, but this fellow is rather lazy and rarely comes to apply. It is only because the rules have been changed today that he feels a little nervous. And in order to conceal his strength, his performance was not very outstanding, it was just that he was able to win in the end. Of course, because he had won a few matches consecutively and even defeated Liang Yoxing, many people still paid attention to him. After Chen Xiang finished fighting himself, he went to apply for the next battle, then hurriedly ran to the side of Murong Jin's fighting arena. At this moment, there were already many people surrounding him. Most of them were women. Although Murong Jin's battle ended rather quickly, many people still wanted to see his battle. Chen Xiang saw Murong Jin from afar. He was indeed a very handsome man, wearing white clothes that fluttered in the wind, looking very handsome. His temperament, coupled with the charming smile on his handsome face, was extremely harmful to girls, causing them to come over to watch. The person fighting Murong Jin was also a man. Although he was handsome and his strength was strong, his temperament was far inferior to Murong Jin's. From this alone, one could tell that he was much weaker than Murong Jin. The difference in strength between the 5th and 12th rank was something everyone looked forward to. Of course, this was what the man expected, but all the women present only liked to see Murong Jin's elegant and unrestrained movements. Begin. An old man's horn shouted. Murong Jin gently waved his hand, and an imposing chi swept out in all directions. Even though there was a fighting arena array formation between them, he could still feel it from outside. A very strong sword force. Chen Xiang frowned. This was much stronger than his. After all, he was not an expert in sword arts. With a wave of his hand, Murong Jin released a terrifying sword force. A translucent sword appeared in his hand, and the other party had already rushed forward with his fists like a torrential storm, with fist images covering the sky. His chi was like a dragon as he enveloped Murong Jin within. With the sword in his hand, Murong Jin moved gracefully. As he waved the sword light flashed, the sword chi became like wind, sweeping towards the incoming fist shadows. In the blink of an eye, all of the fist shadows were swept away by the sword wind and disappeared. As for his opponent, he was also forced to retreat by his strange sword wind. In order to stabilize himself, that person poured in an extremely powerful strength into his legs, so when he retreated, the instant he stomped his feet on the ground, the arena trembled a few times. However, he was still unable to stop Murong Jin's sword wind, and was forced to the edge of the arena. At this moment, the group of women were already cheering loudly. When the men behind them heard this, they could only frown and shake their heads. Murong Jin saw that the person had not yet appeared, so he pointed his sword towards his opponent. The sword that was formed from sword force flew out from his hand, turned into a gentle yet extremely powerful gust of wind, and pushed the person out of the fighting arena. Murong Jin wins. One of the elders standing by the side nodded his head, his eyes full of admiration. It's indeed very strong. Chen Xiang could not help but exclaim in his heart, I hope we do not meet here, if not, victory or defeat will not be decided. Chen Xiang suddenly felt that it would not be easy to enter the top 10, especially since time was running out. C2788. C2788 got another point. Before this, he was the same as the fourth, with 370 points, but because the fourth was earlier, he was ranked in front of him. Now that his score had exceeded fourth, he was already ranked fourth. Just as Chen Xiang was about to leave, he felt a faint sense of imminent danger. That was a very dangerous feeling, and when he had this feeling, it meant that someone with terrifying strength was approaching. Isn't this one of the 3 overlords of the primordial sword truth, one of the Yuan Shi plus Tao school? In the primordial sword Tao there are 3 supreme elders. This is the youngest of the 3, the 3rd supreme. However, according to the legends, his strength is on par with the one sovereign of the sword. What is he doing? Chen Xiang also saw this supreme realm martial artist. This was the first time he had seen Tai Zun realm, and he looked to be a handsome and suave young man. I've seen the Grand Preceptor without any complaints. The old man beside the arena quickly bowed. Junior Murong Jin pays his respects to the great honored warrior Wu Hen. Murong Jin immediately bowed respectfully, because this grand elder Wu Hen was also an extremely terrifying person. Even though he looked young, he was someone who had aided in the great battle against the Flying Dragon Palace back then. No need to be so polite. Murong Jin, I have been paying attention to you for a long time. I wonder if you are willing to be my disciple. Everyone was immediately shocked. The Grand Preceptor had directly come to take in disciples. To be able to become his disciple, his status was much higher than true disciples, not to mention inner disciples. Senior, for you to think so highly of this junior feels extremely happy. It's just that I want to stay on the ground and become a true disciple of the Yuan Hi plus Tao school step by step. Junior has also heard that cultivation in the Yuan Hi plus Tao school is extremely difficult, especially from the outer sect disciples to the inner sect disciples. If I am unable to pass this stage, I will not have the face to be a senior disciple. Murong Jin did not hesitate at all and directly said those words. This made everyone even more surprised. He had actually rejected her offer just like that. All right. If that's the case, then I'll wait for you on the primordial heavenly mountain. If you can become an inner disciple, then you can directly come to the Hall of No Resentment and accept the examination. After passing my examination, you can become my disciple. Of course, if you change your mind, you can come and find me at any time. I'll accept you as my disciple. Thank you, Senior, Murong Jin said with a humble smile. The Grand Elder patted Murong Jin's head and laughed as he flew away. This made many people speechless. If it was Murong Jin, then it would have been fine if he had directly agreed to become the unresentful great honored warrior, but he refused the offer. Becoming a direct disciple of the Yuan Hi plus Tao school was something that many people here yearned for day and night. This fellow's mentality is pretty good. I can't allow myself to meet him. In the worst-case scenario, I might even lose 10 points to him. Chen Xiang was only worried, but he was not afraid of Murong Jin. Instead, he wanted to fight with Murong Jin. After that, Chen Xiang found out that other than Murong Jin, there were 2 other people who had tried to recruit them as disciples as well. They were only aware that they were still partic. 1p aiding in the compet. 1 Tian. Chen Xiang had already arrived at the fighting arena, and it was his turn soon enough. He did not need to extravagantly hope to enter the top 5, as long as he could enter the top 10, it would be enough to enter the Yuan Hi plus Tao school this year. In a pavilion at the side of the plaza, Murong Jin sat on the balcony, drinking tea with 2 men and 1 woman. These people were all in the top 5, which showed that their relations Hi plus P was not bad, and there was even a female. My little brother has already put me down. I've fallen to 5th. He was Murong Jin's older brother, Murong Ling. He was previously ranked 4th, but now, he had already been Serpa. As said by Murong Jin. D.A.M. And you 2 brothers. You both rejected the Supreme Emperor's offer to take in a disciple. A strong and handsome man shook his head and sighed. Why don't I have such a good life? This muscular man was the number 1 in the ranking board, Gu Qintian. Oh right, Jin Xiong, didn't the granny in Yuan Hi plus Tao school want to take you as a disciple? You said that you wanted to think about it, but you didn't answer Grandma Wuqiong. Gu Qintian asked a lady in green. This girl was very pretty with a smile on her face. She was very charming. She took a sip of tea and said, "Of course not. I also want to see how cruel the outer sect disciples are, so I rejected." She was the only girl in the top 30, called Liang Jinjun. Although she looked pretty and gentle, she was famous for her Thunder Dao abilities, and was the elder sister of Liang Yoxing, the person who Chen Xiang had defeated earlier. It seems that even if I am accepted as a disciple by all of you, I still have to refuse. Otherwise, I will be despised by all of you. Gu Qingtian laughed bitterly. The reason why I didn't accept you as a disciple is because you look too lacking. There are already many big fish in the top 30. Mu Rongling laughed loudly. It should be a question of looks. All three of you look more popular than me. There's no helping it, this is a world where one only looks at one's face. Since Gu Qingtian was ranked first, he must be pretty strong. He himself didn't know why the great honored warrior didn't fancy him, and the Gu family that he was from was also a rather strong family. Jin Qiong, didn't your little brother drop out of 30? Who was it that defeated him? According to this year's standards, your little brother's strength is at least in the top 10. Gu Qingtian asked. Liang Jinjun frowned slightly as she mentioned this. She looked towards the arena and said, "In the 17th arena, that man in black defeated someone who was interested. He didn't have any background, but he was able to defeat my younger brother within a short period of time." Chen Xiang was about to fight, but he didn't know that he was being watched by the 4 genius ranked in the top 5. I've also heard that he easily overcame his battles. Currently, he hasn't even reached 10 points. I wonder if he will be able to make it here within a month. Murong Jin said, "Seems like your imposing manner is quite good. It has begun. Everyone, look at this person's background. Although my younger brother was defeated by him, he did not complain about it. You all know my younger brother's personality, he would not accept it so easily." Liang Jinjun said. The 4 of them were staring at Chen Xiang from afar. Although they were far away, to strong people like them, it was as if they were right in front of them. Chen Xiang would definitely not go all out now. He did not even use his Dao power sometimes, but only used his powerful physical body coupled with his footwork to fight his opponent. This way, he would not be able to injure his opponent and would also be able to train his body a little. Under the situation where he was hiding his strength, it was difficult for him to determine the origin of his cultivation technique. See 2789. See 2789. Although Chen Xiang only used the strength of his fleshly body, it was still possible to defeat him easily. The strength of his fleshly body was something that even he himself found somewhat unexpected, as he never thought it would be so strong. What a terrifying physique! His body is much thinner than old Gu, but he's so powerful. His footwork is also very strange, and with the combination of his physique strength and the various fist techniques that he's extremely familiar with, he can easily win. Murong Jin said. Indeed, in our 1,000 floors, other than the disciples from the major families, there is actually such a person. Mu Rongling was suddenly very curious about Chen Xiang. All of you, go apply for a duel. Otherwise, the top 10 will be pulled out of the compet. 1. Tian. Gu Qingtian stood up and said, "Also, the guy who is ranked 3rd has not appeared for a few days. I don't know what's going on. Could it be that he has been accepted as a disciple? I'm not sure. The 2nd place will not be taken away anyway. You're already first, so why are you still working so hard?" Liang Jinjun laughed. "There's nothing I can do about it. If I don't beat him up for a day, I won't feel comfortable." After Gu Qingtian finished speaking, he jumped down from the balcony and rushed to the battle location. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed, said. Chen Xiang had fought more than 10 matches every day, and each match had been his consecutive victories. Right now, he was already ranked 10th, and a few of the top 30 contestants had been defeated by him. His current fame was similar to those of the top 5. After all, he had only been here for a short month. Other than him Hi+ing forward, there was also Liang Yoxing, who was also ranked 13th. Although the 2 of them frantically requested to battle, in the end, they did not meet. Liang Yoxing did not wish to meet Chen Xiang. He knew very well that the result would be the same if he were to fight with Chen Xiang 10 times. One more day. I must enter the top 10. Right now there is only a difference of 3 points between me and that 10th guy. I will be able to pull him out after 4 more rounds. Chen Xiang was very confident at the moment, because there were still more than 10 hours until the deadline. However, Liang Yoxing's hope was not very high, because the difference between his and 10th order was too great. He had a full 70 points. The top 5 rankings didn't change much, but the scores continued to increase. This month, the top 5 hadn't stopped fighting in order to maintain their points. Even if they lost a few matches, they would still be in the top 10. The top 5 had fought with each other before. The top-ranked Gu Qingtian and the third-ranked Zhao Yunxiao had a great battle, and in the end, Zhao Yunxiao had lost. Then, it was Murong Jin and Murong Ling, the 2 brothers, who had fought together. In the end, it was Murong Jin, the younger brother, who had won, and the 2 of them had both used the G.O.D. murdering sword techniques to fight. At night, Chen Xiang's score was already equal to 10, and because he only reached that score after, he was still number 11. The person at number 10 had fought with someone previously and was injured, so he could no longer compete with them for more than 10 hours. This is the last match. Chen Xiang never thought that within a month, he would really have to charge into the top 10 rankings. As long as he obtained another point, he would be able to enter the top 10. And now, the end of the compet. 1. Tian was approaching, so few people were willing to register. Everyone had been very tired this month. When Chen Xiang came to apply for the compet. 1. Tian, no one queued up, but there were a lot of people here, and they were all waiting for the final result. Chen Xiang, I heard that there's only one guy who's applying for a match, and that's the Gu Qingtian who's ranked first. One of them said to Chen Xiang. Everyone here were very familiar with Chen Xiang. After all, when they lined up for the battle, most of them would see Chen Xiang there. Only Gu Qingtian is left. This guy is someone that even the Murong brothers, Liang Jinjunqiong and Zhao Yunxiao, are afraid of. Can he win? Chen Xiang, forget it. You've worked so hard this month, so you must be very tired now. However, Gu Qingtian has only fought a few times a day, so he should be able to rest enough. There were some injuries that would take many years to heal. After all, they all felt that Chen Xiang had that potential, and that he would definitely be stronger next year. You have a winning streak right now. If you lose, it will be a blow to you. An old man tried to persuade Chen Xiang, but Chen Xiang still walked to the front of the stage and applied. This matter caused a great deal of commotion, because it was equivalent to Chen Xiang challenging the top ranker, Gu Qingtian. Next year I might even enter the 6G.O.D.S stage. Chen Xiang thought and shook his head with a smile. He had seen Gu Qingtian's battles before. Even if he lost, he would not receive any injuries. After Chen Xiang applied, he started to rest. In his battles before, he had always been reserving a certain amount of strength, so it could be said that he was very energetic right now. What, this guy really wants to fight me? When Gu Qingtian heard this news, he could not believe it. He thought that he could get some rest since it was already late at night. Isn't this a good thing? Then we'll be able to see his true strength. This guy is very secretive and doesn't talk much with others. However, his character isn't that bad, and he doesn't really hurt anyone. Murong Jin laughed. How about you accept the challenge and give him some water so he can pass? Liang Jinjun laughed softly. Old Gu, are you willing to do such a thing? If you're known to have gone easy on me, the consequences will be quite serious. It would be better for you to just honestly fight. If he wins against me, that would be considered as his ability. After Gu Qingtian finished speaking, he jumped down from the balcony again and prepared to accept the challenge, while Murong Jin and the rest followed closely behind. Chen Xiang was currently recuperating with his eyes closed. He was extremely attuned to this final battle. Gu Qi Tian is here, and Liang Jun and Morong brothers, the relations. Hi+P between these juniors from venerable families has always been pretty good. Gu Qi Tian is a big brother among them. His strength should be the strongest. I heard that he cultivates one of the 4 great sacred techniques, the Heavenly Spirit Kung Fu. Is this for real? The Heavenly Spirit Kung Fu, it sounds so scary. It's true, those big families have more or less mastered a part of their divine arts. Gu Qingtian's body is so strong, he must have cultivated the Heavenly Spirit Kung Fu. He opened his eyes and looked towards Gu Qingtian, who was walking over. He himself also trained in the Heavenly Spirit Kung Fu, but it was not its limit. Let's go up. An old man shouted. Chen Xiang anxiously walked over, with Gu Qingtian following behind him. Kid, please forgive me when I get injured later. Gu Qingtian suddenly said. You too. This battle is extremely important to me, so I won't be merciful. Chen Xiang said. Gu Qingtian's character was not bad. Many people knew of his character. C 2790. C 2790. When Gu Qingtian entered the fighting arena, the aura around his body was completely different from before. Previously, he had always been careless when he entered the arena, which meant that he had never paid attention to those battles before. Therefore, when everyone saw Gu Qingtian's stance, they all thought that he would lose. After all, this was the last match. Gu Qingtian could flip it over and let it go, because he already had nothing to worry about in the future. He did not need to worry about being too tired to fight in the next match. Since Gu Qingtian came to Partic 1. P. 8 in this exam, it could be said that he had always been victorious, so he had to guarantee that he would be victorious in this final battle. Chen Xiang did not plan to use the spatial laws for battle previously, because he did not want so many people to know that he had mastered such a terrifying law. Otherwise, if others were to think of a method to deal with his spatial laws in the future, it would be limited to his strength. At this moment, he was also very conflicted. If he used it when he was forced to, it would be exposed. If he did not, he might lose this battle. He could only wait until next year. Kid, you will definitely lose, hee. Gu Qingtian rubbed his fist and chuckled. Even though he knew that Chen Xiang was very strong, he had never felt that Chen Xiang was a threat to him. After all, he had already won many matches and defeated many geniuses, which gave him the confidence to do so. Don't be so sure. It hasn't begun yet. Chen Xiang didn't think that he would lose. After all, he had opened all his doors wide, and he also cultivated many powerful divine art. Even if Gu Qingtian had opened all the profound doors, there would still be a gap in power. Other people would train in Tao energy, but Chen Xiang trained in primitive Tao power. Although he had fought in so many matches before, he had never used it once. This was the power he was hiding. Chen Xiang had seen quite a lot of battles, but he had never seen anyone using Tao of Dragon power. This showed that these rule Tao line were very rare. Even the top 5 geniuses didn't have that many rare Tao meridians. During the month that Chen Xiang was here, he had already understood that the number of law beads here was lesser than the 100 floors. The main reason was that the time that the myriad Tao's divine steel appeared was very short and they often changed places. There were only a few forces that could get law beads from the 100 floors, but coming here was also very tiring, which was far from enough for them to use. I can defeat you in 10 punches. Gu Qingtian was extremely confident because, like many other people, he thought that Chen Xiang had worked hard these past few days. Even if he had saved his strength, he would not be able to beat him. I want to see how powerful your 10 punches are. Chen Xiang smiled faintly, then looked at an elder standing at the side. He nodded towards him, indicating that they can begin. Gu Qingtian was also ready and shouted to the old man, "We can begin. Begin." With the elder's words, Gu Qingtian immediately rushed forward and seized the initiative to attack Chen Xiang first. Gu Qingtian cultivated the heavenly spirit kung fu, so he liked to use his fists in battle the most. His fist techniques were also very terrifying. If it were not for the restrictions preventing his opponents from dying, many people would have died under his two exploding fists. Gu Qingtian looked big and tall, giving off a feeling of awkwardness, but on the contrary, he was very agile. When he arrived in front of Chen Xiang, although he raised his fist, he did not smash it down immediately. He nimbly avoided Chen Xiang's heaven-blasting palm and arrived beside Chen Xiang. The fist energy that had been congealing for a long time was unleashed with a loud bang that unceasingly gus. Hi+ing fist energy was like a tidal wave, imposing and vast, containing an endless amount of power, as though it was tens of thousands of mountains that were SMAs. Hi+ing down non-stop. This is from the heavenly spirit kung fu. The power of 10,000 stars, huh? Chen Xiang only trained heavenly spirit kung fu s for defense, but rarely used them in battles. The reason was mainly for defense. Just that aura alone was enough to shock and scare people, but Chen Xiang was not an ordinary person. Moreover, he had a better understanding of Gu Qingtian's heavenly spirit kung fu. He knew that this move of Gu Qingtian's was mostly an illusion, mainly to investigate the opponent's true strength, and the majority of the people were completely stunned by his first punch. After becoming terrified, they would be forced out of the compet. Tian arena with just one move from Gu Qingtian. Chen Xiang saw that after Gu Qingtian threw out his first punch, the shrinking step stepped forward and in the blink of an eye, it had dodged the incoming fist wind. If they didn't dodge, the violent wind from the fists would be enough to push him out of the fighting stage. Many people had lost because of this. Chen Xiang's shrinking step was also extremely strange, its speed extremely fast, which made many young geniuses more curious. The moment Gu Qingtian punched, Chen Xiang actually walked on the shrinking step and arrived behind Gu Qingtian. Boom 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 boom. Chen Xiang struck out multiple times with his palms consecutively, but only the extremely violent and powerful heaven-blasting palm power remained. He would not show any mercy right now, because Gu Qingtian's body was extremely terrifying. Gu Qingtian never thought that the limit of Chen Xiang's shrinking step would actually be this terrifying. Previously, he had also paid attention to Chen Xiang's battle. He knew that although Chen Xiang's shrinking step looked strange, it wasn't as fast as it was now. This was mainly because Chen Xiang had not used his full strength previously. Gu Qingtian did not expect Chen Xiang to hide it so deeply and cursed in his heart, before releasing a few punches to blast outwards, forming B-A-L-L-S of white light. The B-A-L-L-S of light exploded, and produced wave after wave of thunderous roars, dispersing all of Chen Xiang's heaven-blasting palm power. However, just as Gu Qingtian was releasing a ball of light, the fighting arena was suddenly enveloped in a dense fog, which was released by Chen Xiang. What a cunning fellow! Gu Qingtian suddenly lost sense of Chen Xiang. It was obvious that the dense mist was not normal, as he would be able to hide within it. Just as Gu Qingtian was unable to sense Chen Xiang, he started to panic in his heart. However, right at this moment, an earth-shaking dragon's roar sounded out, accompanied by a violent tremble that was even more intense than that of the arena. The raging dragon heaven-blasting palm. This was released using the combination of the primordial dragon's Tao energy. Right now, I'm using all of the profound entrances. The dragon's roar was filled with rage. The force of the palm strike was so terrifying that it caused the heavens and earth to tremble. Chen Xiang seemed to have gone mad as he continuously struck out with the raging dragon heaven-blasting palm. The dense mist had already been swept away by the wind from Chen Xiang's palm. Everyone only saw Chen Xiang's entire body releasing a gold light, his palms continuing to release outwards, releasing a faint gold dragon-like chi from his palms, hitting Gu Qingtian's body which was covered in white light. A white barrier appeared on Gu Qingtian's body. The white light was dazzling, especially when Chen Xiang's palm strike landed on his barrier. The light emitted was even more intense. Bang, 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 bang. One after another, Chen Xiang's palm energy landed on Gu Qingtian's body or even on his surroundings. The shaking power surrounded and suppressed Gu Qingtian's barrier, and Gu Qingtian was also forced to retreat continuously by the palm energy. The current Chen Xiang could almost be said to be using his strongest power, but this Gu Qingtian could still hold on. C2791. C2791 Chen Xiang was also shocked by Gu Qingtian's strength. This defensive power was released by Gu Qingtian himself. If it was a normal 6G ODS stage, they would have already died under this kind of attack. But Gu Qingtian was only suppressed to the extent of not being able to retaliate. We can't let this continue any longer. Once this guy recovers and finds an opportunity, it'll be the time for him to retaliate. At this moment, Chen Xiang could clearly feel that an extremely terrifying power was being concentrated within Gu Qingtian's body. Chen Xiang was extremely terrified of that power. If he released it, the consequences would be unimaginable. Azure Dragon. Chen Xiang immediately used the Azure Dragon within the second Divine Sense C, and let the Azure Dragon flow into his arm, so that it would not be exposed. Even so, his arm suddenly swelled up, shattering his sleeve. On his arm were green dragon scales, flash. HI+ing with terrifying lightning. This boy really hides a great deal of his strength. What he used just now should be the power of the Tao of Dragon Laws. He entered into the cultivation of the Tao of Dragon Laws. Murong Jin's expression was solemn. At this moment, he felt that Chen Xiang was even more mysterious. Tao of the Dragon Laws. 100 law beads required 50 billion. It was obvious that this fellow had the support of a terrifying old man. Otherwise, where could he have gotten so many Tao crystal? If we want to cultivate this kind of rare rule Tao line, we have to first step into the 6G ODS stage and fight for it when we return to our families. Mu Rongling looked at Chen Xiang with a bit of jealousy. That's right. Now I know what kind of technique he is using, and it actually makes his arm feel like it is being possessed by a green dragon. I wonder if old Gu can withstand it. Liang Jinjun stared at Chen Xiang's arm and frowned. The power that old Gu has condensed is also very terrifying. Zhao Yunxiao said, but I wonder if there will be a chance to release it. After Chen Xiang allowed the green dragon to attach itself to his arm, he felt that the green dragon had already fused with his arm, and then, he immediately threw a punch. This time, it was even the berserk dragon heaven-blasting palm. Chen Xiang's palm exploded with a burst of glaring green light. A flash. HI+ing green dragon roared out from the resplendent green light. The roar of a dragon shook the heavens, causing everyone to tremble in fear. With this palm, Chen Xiang used all his strength to control the power. If he felt that something was wrong, he could immediately control it and retrieve it. Gu Qingtian was also frightened. He never thought that the hidden strength Chen Xiang possessed was actually this terrifying. In that instant, the energy he had accu mulat in his body suddenly disappeared, which meant that he had given up on resisting. When Chen Xiang sensed that the condensed power on his body had disappeared, he shouted loudly and controlled the green dragon to explode. The green dragon did not directly land on Gu Qingtian's body, but the moment it exploded, the berserk force it produced pushed Gu Qingtian out of the fighting arena. Chen Xiang wins. The old man below the stage was also frightened, but he quickly regained his composure and shouted, "Are you a disciple of the Azure Dragon School?" Although Gu Qingtian had lost, he did not complain. After all, Chen Xiang had defeated him with absolute strength. No. Chen Xiang knew why Gu Qingtian would ask such a question. It was because the dragon power and Azure Dragon power that he had used just now looked just like those of the Azure Dragon School, no matter how one looked at it. After Chen Xiang finished speaking, he hastily went to the registration area to add his last point, so he could enter 10th place just in time. Even though he was ranked 10th, he could defeat the one ranked 1st. This kid is really scary. Gu Qingtian came over to Murong Jin and the others and sighed. If not for him suddenly stopping, I would be lying down right now. No wonder my brother is so convinced. So it turns out that he also felt Chen Xiang's power. Liang Jinjun chuckled, but of course I'm not afraid of him. It's as they say. Although he's strong, he might not necessarily be able to defeat me. Murong Jin laughed. That's right, if we are to compete in sword techniques, I feel that I can definitely win against him. Gu Qingtian shook his head. All you are saying is that when you fight with him, you will already know how terrifying he is. Under such circumstances, for him to be able to remain calm and collected, it goes to say that he has a lot of battle experience, and that he carries a killing intent with him. That killing intent is even more terrifying than your two brothers' G.O.D. killing sword. Those in the top 10, follow me. A gray-robed old man suddenly appeared and shouted. Chen Xiang immediately walked over, and the people who were in the top 10 all rushed over. I am an outer sect elder of the Yuan S.H.I. plus Tao school. From now on, you are all outer sect disciples of the Yuan S.H.I. plus Tao school. As the gray-clothed old man spoke, he took out 10 storage bags. One for each of us. Take a good look at the things inside. After Chen Xiang obtained it, he took out a book from within. Inside it were written the rules of the Yuan S.H.I. plus Tao school. Other than that, there was also a cultivation technique, but it was only the first part of it. The sect rules are already written on it. You should know that cultivation in the outer sect is very difficult, right? However, you only have 10 days each month to cultivate. You are free to do so for the rest of your time. The old man had already brought Chen Xiang and the others and was walking towards the primal sky mountain. Elder, do you think that someone with strength like ours can withstand the cultivation of the outer court disciples? Mu Rongling asked. It's hard to say. I have seen many imps that were even more talented than you, but there are only a few that manage to endure through it. Of course, although you guys are not as strong as those guys, but your character is not bad and you have also been chosen by the Supreme Elders in the inner sect, so even if you guys can't go through with it, you will definitely become a true disciple, and that is even higher than an inner sect disciple. Murong Jin said, I will definitely not be able to hold on. If I do not, I will not have the face to enter the inner sect, and will only make those honorable disciples laugh. Mu Rongling also nodded. Good ambition, I hope you guys can really endure it. The old man smiled. Elder, is there any method that doesn't require the outer court to conduct cruel cultivation every month? Chen Xiang kept looking at that book, which had a lot of information on cultivation. Don't you want to cultivate? Then why did you enter the Yuan S.H.I. plus Tao school? The old man asked. Many people enter the outer sect just to train and gain experience. The reason I entered the Yuan S.H.I. plus Tao school was to find a safer and more stable environment to let me grow up. Chen Xiang said. It's not that I don't want to cultivate, but the cultivation in the outer sect is completely useless to me. This kind of cultivation can also be described as cruel, and I feel that it's an insult to the word cruel. When Chen Xiang saw the content of the cultivation, it was no different from tempering his spirit and body. It was extremely extreme, especially when it came to tempering the body. He needed to soak in the primordial flame pool, or be struck by the primal wild lightning, etc. To Chen Xiang, all of these were just a piece of cake. C. 2792. C. 2792, do you think our cultivation is too simple? Are you wasting your time? The old man was also surprised. He had also seen Chen Xiang's battle just now, and knew that his strength was indeed not weak. Yes. Chen Xiang said, "It will not help me in the slightest." They were clear about Chen Xiang's strength, especially Gu Qingtian, and when they saw the content of the cultivation, their faces immediately became pale white. Although they were powerful, they were more or less people who had grown up cutely. But Chen Xiang still felt that that was not enough. This cultivation method can temper a person's willpower. This is very useful for cultivation of the 6 realms magic kung fu. As for the increase in strength, this will strengthen the body. Of course, this will have to be endured. The old man said, "I feel that I already possess this kind of willpower, because I've already experienced this kind of cultivation a long time ago." Chen Xiang said. He had experienced things more cruel than them, so these experiences were nothing in his eyes. The old man was speechless. He thought for a bit and said, "If that's true, then after you partic 1p8 once you feel that it's useless, you can go partic 1p8 in the inner sect examination. As long as you enter the inner sect, you don't have to cultivate like this." All right. Indeed, the reason Chen Xiang came to the primal Taoist sect was to find a backer. It was because his primordial Taoist sect was rather concerned about its disciples. Soon, the novel Abdu, Chen Xiang and the others came with the old man to the middle of the mountain. There was a cave here, and the outer disciples could only train inside it. The cave was located in the belly of the mountain, which led to the primal sky mountain. It was very size and could accommodate many people for cultivation. Alright, feel free to find a place to stay. When it comes to women, we need to be together with other women. The old man said, "Tomorrow morning, you will follow the team and enter the primordial lightning pool. After soaking in it for a day, you will enter the primal lightning zone. Every time it starts, a name will be called, and if you don't come, you will be punished." Chen Xiang randomly found a cave and rested inside. Today's great battle had made him feel extremely tired. "I need to hurry up and enter the inner sect to confirm that Lin Shirong's father is not here. If I can find him, maybe I can understand more about the natural law divine lord." This was also one of the reasons why Chen Xiang had entered the Yuan Shi plus Tao school. Aside from that, he also needed to find a medicine pill that could allow him to quickly enter the 6G-ODS stage. According to his knowledge, it was extremely difficult for the 3 profound realm to enter the 6G-ODS stage. As long as they entered the 6G-ODS stage, they would definitely be able to become a successor disciple. Early morning on the second day, Chen Xiang and the other new disciples lined up together. There were a lot of new disciples, more than 100 of them, and most of them were disciples from prestigious families. Chen Xiang entered the primordial flame lake with them and soaked them inside. You are not allowed to use your Tao power to resist, and you are not allowed to use Tao power to protect your body. Even though it will be very painful, I won't let you die. A middle-aged man in charge of monitoring said. He was from the 6G-ODS stage and was not weak. Just as he went down, many people cried out in pain. Even those who were able to hold it and had painful expressions on their faces. Gu Qingtian's body could be said to be stronger here, but the muscles on his face were tensed up from the pain, and his face slowly turned green. Murong Jin could not help but moan in pain. The muscles on his face twitched continuously. Just as he wanted to rush over, he was suppressed by a burst of force from the middle-aged man at the side. At the same time, Gu Qingtian also started shouting. In here, it could not be considered as an embarrassing matter because other than Chen Xiang, everyone else was shouting in pain. Previously, Gu Qingtian and the others thought that Chen Xiang was exaggerating a little, but now that they had personally experienced it, they knew just how terrifying Chen Xiang was. The middle-aged man by the pool was also surprised by Chen Xiang. He had even specially checked if Chen Xiang was using Tao energy to resist, but after carefully checking a few times, He realized that there was not a single bit of Tao energy leaking out of Chen Xiang's body, but there were quite a few people who were releasing their Tao energy non-stop, wanting to resist the scorching heat. However, all of their Tao power had been sucked away by the special formation. If you can't take it, you can tell me, then immediately leave the Yuan S.H.I. plus Tao school. There's no need to feel embarrassed, said. After all of you are well aware that quite a few people can't bear it and have to leave the Yuan S.H.I. plus Tao school. The middle-aged man said, "This is only the beginning. If all of you have enough strength to take the intersect examination, then you don't have to cultivate like this. But if one wants to pass the intersect examination, it is impossible to not practice like this. Let me tell you this, the first round of the intersect examination is to soak in a pool that is even scarier than this. The second stage is naturally the lightning territory. It is also one day, and the lightning territory there is even more terrifying than this place. The third stage is a lot more relaxed and is a mental test. There will be all sorts of mental challenges, and it will be easier said than done because it won't be painful, and it will be even harder since many people can pass the first two stages and not the last one." Chen Xiang's calm voice was heard. "As long as you pass these three tests, you will become an inner disciple?" The middle-aged man nodded. "That's right, every 3 months there will be a test, and it will be conducted in groups. Just like now, everyone will be immersed in the pond, and even if we can't, we still have a chance, because our test will not lose our lives." "Then when is the next assessment?" Chen Xiang asked again, while the others cried out in pain, but Chen Xiang was able to speak calmly with others, causing many people to think that Chen Xiang was cheating. 10 days from now, it will be your resting time. You can go and have a try." The middle-aged man also felt that something was wrong with Chen Xiang. He felt that even he could not remain as calm. Chen Xiang nodded his head, then closed his eyes. Right now, he was not forcefully enduring it, rather, he was not in pain at all. A day had passed. Although everyone was in pain, no one fainted. After knowing that they could rest for an hour, they all jumped to the edge of the pool like frogs. Here were men, and the woman was on the other side, and it was said that the heat of the fire was as strong as that of the man. The reason why the Yuan S.H.I. plus Tao school is so powerful is because of the foundation that was laid here. The middle-aged man smiled and said, "Rest first. After that, we'll go to the lightning territory and let you all experience a different level of pain." Everyone was cursing in their hearts, other than Chen Xiang. Everyone here had the intention to leave, but in the end they endured it. They also did it for the sake of dignity. If they were to withdraw right after entering, they would be laughed at by the people here, and it would be terrible if it got out. See 2793. See 2793. After arriving at the Thunder District, Chen Xiang and the others heard sharp cries of pain. Just hearing the sound made everyone's body turn cold. Everyone had just rested for an hour and the pain had already disappeared. This showed that their endurance was still pretty good. But now, he could hear the cries of pain. It was as if the pain that he had previously eliminated had returned. Within the lightning zone, thunder and lightning constantly struck down. The sound it produced was already terrifying, let alone wanting to enter. "Those women are screaming so much." Gu Qingtian could not help but mutter. "Hee, when you wake up, you won't be any better than them." The middle-aged man smiled slyly and said, "Prepare to enter. The rules are the same as before. You are not allowed to use your Tao power to resist." Everyone stood by the side of the S.P.A. underground room. They were all unwilling to enter, because entering this place meant immediate suffering. "Let's go in." Gu Qingtian then kicked Murong Ling's butt right into his butt, then kicked Murong Ling in, causing numerous bolts of lightning to strike over, all striking Murong Ling's body. "Ah!" Mu Rongling screamed like a pig that was being butchered. His throat was about to crack and his body was still trembling uncontrollably. Gu Qingtian originally wanted to laugh, but he was unable to do so because all of them had to do this later. Read the novel Abdu. Starred. Mu Rongling cursed angrily. Just then, Chen Xiang had already walked in, and countless of lightning bolts charged towards him. In the blink of an eye, it struck his body, producing crackling sounds. Chen Xiang frowned slightly. This was indeed a bit painful, but he could still endure it. After that, he sat down in a corner earlier and closed his eyes, allowing the lightning bolts to strike his body. All of you, come in. As the middle-aged man spoke, he released a powerful force, +ing in all the people who were standing at the side. Soon after, this place became like a pig slaughtering field, and everyone started shouting loudly to their heart's content. Another day had ended. After the cultivation in the Thunder Dominion had finished, everyone's body was releasing smoke. Many of them were already charred black, while Chen Xiang's face was only black. The others were fine, at least he was the only one who was able to leave the Thunder Hall, while the others were all climbing out. Rest for 4 hours before you continue. There are 8 more days. The middle-aged man looked at these half-dead people and smiled. And in the next 8 days, they would be alternating between cold and thunder. As 2 people left the arena, everyone could understand this point. They didn't know how much longer they would be able to last. Every month, they had to cultivate like this for 10 days. Now they could rest for 20 days, but everyone's mood was not very good because after 20 days, they still had to continue this lish cultivation. I say, Chen Xiang, how did you manage to withstand that kind of pain? Gu Qingtian was extremely curious. He crawled to Chen Xiang's side and asked, if you were to cultivate in the outer sect for hundreds or thousands of years, you wouldn't be afraid of pain. Chen Xiang said. This kind of painful cultivation was something that he had experienced many times. Hundreds of thousands of years? Gu Qingtian could not help but could it be that you walked over like that? More or less. Chen Xiang nodded his head. There's nothing I can do. I was born into poverty, and in order to obtain powerful strength, I needed to cultivate a powerful body. I don't believe it. How can you possess such a powerful technique when you are born of such a poor background? Even the so-called chief disciples of the Azure Dragon School are not as powerful as you in terms of Tao of the Dragon. Gu Qingtian curled his lips. That's the nod I received after going through some tough times. Chen Xiang smiled and said, you've suffered so much. You know how to make yourself stronger, and there's also ways to get more Tao crystal. Sigh. Are you really going to take the inner sect examination? The instructor said that it would be many times scarier than it is now. Gu Qingtian still did not quite believe what Chen Xiang said. From start to finish, he still felt that Chen Xiang was very mysterious. I must go, Chen Xiang said. If I'm not able to make it here, I'll only be returning here. The cultivation here was extremely difficult for many people, especially for the spoiled children from influential clans. Chen Xiang rested for a moment, also recovered a bit, and then returned to his stone room. I will properly adjust for another day and then partake. 1p8 in the inner sect examination. I want to enter the inner sect. Chen Xiang had already heard some things about the inner sect from the instructor's words. It would be much easier to enter, at least he did not need to undergo such a dry and painful cultivation. After resting for a day, Chen Xiang immediately went to register. At this time, many people were present, all of them had said the examination and entered the outer sect. They were originally the children of venerable families, but now their arrogance had been wiped out, and they no longer had the haughtiness that a venerable family disciple had. After registering, everyone felt that Chen Xiang was very unfamiliar, because most of the people partook. 1p. Aiding in the examination right now were old disciples, and some of them had even failed a few times. Only after everyone had understood that Chen Xiang had just entered the outer sect for 10 days. He had only been here for 10 days, and yet he was already taking the examination. This caused many people to be shocked. In the past, many people had thought of entering the inner sect as soon as they did, but after experiencing the first 10 days of Lish cultivation, none of them had this thought. This was because the inner sect examination was much crueler than Lish cultivation. After reporting their names, everyone was brought into a cave. There was also a pool of lava inside. As soon as they approached, they could feel the scorching heat. Chen Xiang and the rest were immersed in the water. A majority of them only lasted for an hour before retreating, while the rest endured the pain, with more people screaming in pain. A day quickly passed, said. Originally, there were several hundred people who entered, but now there were only a few dozen. All of these people had passed, said the first stage. This exam is not simple at all, even I feel a great deal of pain. When Chen Xiang was soaking in it, he circulated the heavenly spirit Kunfu, transforming the stimulation brought upon by the pain into a type of body strengthening. The second trial was to enter the lightning zone. This was an existence that was even more terrifying than the fire liquid pool from before. It was just that a few people had already climbed out to leave from the start, and there were only 10 of them who were able to last till the end. The second test has been said. It's still considered successful. This second stage made Chen Xiang uncomfortable and made him have the thought of leaving, but he still persevered. Now, everyone can rest for 4 hours before the final test. After going through the first 2 tests, everyone's mental energy was greatly damaged, and even Chen Xiang was feeling dispirited, so these 4 hours of rest time were too little. Who was resting with his eyes closed, suddenly smelled a strong stench of blood. When he opened his eyes, he found himself in a land filled with corpses, and the people who died were all his familiar family and friends. When he saw this, he felt like he was about to collapse. However, he quickly recovered and knew that he was undergoing the assessment. He immediately took a deep breath and stabilized his mind. C 2794. C 2794. This kind of mental test was still too childish for Chen Xiang. As long as he knew that he was taking the exam, it would be useless against him. Just as soon as he closed his eyes, the bodies disappeared. He looked around and found that he was in the same room as before. He was the only one here. You've almost passed, said the assessment, but there's still one more stage to go. An old man walked in. He was in charge of the assessment. There's still the final hurdle. Chen Xiang felt a little suspicious. Isn't there only 3 stages? Yes, but this stage is rather special. As long as you pass, you can become an inner disciple and enjoy a lot of resources. You don't have to go through cultivation like before. The old man said. Chen Xiang nodded his head. Then what's the test? The old man waved his hand, and someone dragged in an old man tied to a rope and said, "Kill this old man." Why did you kill him? What did he do wrong? Chen Xiang frowned. He looked at the old man who was on his last breath, whose entire body was covered with injuries. He is just an ordinary person. Because when he was walking, he accidentally stepped on my foot. I caught him in a fit of anger. As long as you kill him, we will return to the last stage. The old man threw a blade at Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang picked up his blade, looked at the injured old man, and laughed coldly. This old uncle only accidentally stepped on you, but you mistreated him like this and even killed him. Chen Xiang looked at the elder in charge of the assessment. His expression became cold. The long blade in his hand suddenly slashed, aiming straight for the elder's neck. I should have killed you. When Chen Xiang's blade touched the old man's neck, a flash said before his eyes, and he saw the few people who were resting with him just now. Yu Pa said. There were a lot of disciples that chose to kill the old man just now because the old man is an ordinary person, and if we kill him we will become an inner disciple. For those of us who have great power, killing an ordinary person would just be cruce. Hi plus ing an ant, so everyone would not hesitate to make a move. Although your killing intent is very strong, you do not kill wantonly. This is rather strange. Chen Xiang shook his head. Your exam is too easy, especially this kind of test on the soul. It's really easy, I can see through it with one glance. The elder was speechless. He frowned and said, Are you really able to see through me? Chen Xiang nodded his head. Yes, for no reason at all. You want me to kill people, it's too sudden, without any preparation. You are right. It is a bit fake, but your fire essence pool and lightning districts assessment is for this third round. After the previous 2 rounds, your mental pressure must be great, so you will definitely be able to make the fastest decision in the final round. Of course, we can also quickly see the good and evil in a person's heart by doing so. Chen Xiang thought that this made sense. If it was someone who was addicted to killing, he would have killed the old uncle earlier without hesitation. No matter what, you have Pa said. You are truly powerful, entering the inner sect within 10 days of being in the outer sect. Since you are not from 6G, ODS stage, it seems that your path of growth is difficult. That elder looked at Chen Xiang with eyes full of praise. Chen Xiang had said the inner sect examination and become an inner sect disciple. He came to the summit of the primal sky mountain, where there were many buildings. This inner sect is quite easy, but if you want to become strong, it won't be that simple. If you want to live through a cultivation technique or receive guidance, you'll have to pass some tests. Some require earning a large amount of Dao crystal. Chen Xiang was free to go down the mountain. When he just entered the inner sect, he wanted to find someone to talk to, but he did not expect that there were many disciples who were busy with some of the tasks assigned to them by the Yuan Hi plus Tao school. Now that I am an inner disciple of the Yuan Hi plus Tao school, I will just hide here if anything happens in the future. Chen Xiang looked at the jade tablet. The only reason he entered Yuan Hi plus Tao school was to find a place to settle down. Let's go down the mountain and take a look. I need to hurry up and find the pills needed to enter 6G ODS stage. In this 1000 level, even though late period of 3 profound realm is a common existence, it's still too weak. Chen Xiang rested for a bit, and just as he was about to leave the courtyard, he suddenly saw a middle-aged man walking towards him. Little brother, is that where Chen Xiang lives? The middle-aged man stopped him and asked. I am Chen Xiang. Why are you looking for me? Chen Xiang looked at the middle-aged man, who seemed to be at the early stage of the 3 profound realm. You are Chen Xiang. I heard about your matters, so I wanted to accept you as my disciple. The middle-aged man laughed. You are a good sapling. It's only been 10 days and you have already entered the inner sect. Yuan Hi plus Tao school has never had a disciple like you before. Chen Xiang had thought that this middle-aged man was very weak, and did not expect that he would actually want to take him as a disciple. Could this guy be hiding his cultivation? Chen Xiang thought, of course, even if the other party was very strong, he would not think like that. He could level up on his own, and did not need any master. Even though I look like a 3 profound realm, my strength is very strong. The middle-aged man quickly said, I am an elder here. However, let me first explain. I am only an elder in charge of the CHORES, and not someone as powerful as the Supreme Grand Elder. Chen Xiang nodded his head. I do not have the thought of taking you in as my master. Even if it was the leader who came to take me in, I would have refused. This is not because senior's cultivation level is low. Really? As long as you don't despise my low cultivation, then it's fine. Since it's like this, then forget it. Although you can't become my disciple, you can at least become my friend. The middle-aged man smiled and patted Qin Xiang's shoulder. Of course not, I have nothing to do right now, I don't know how to address you, senior. Qin Xiang asked. Lin Jitian. The middle-aged man took out a bottle of wine and said with a smile, This place is close to where you live, let's go and have a drink there. Lin Jitian, do you know Lin Shirong? Qin Xiang did not ask Lin Shirong's father what his name was back then, but he was sure that his father's surname was Lin. But when Lin Jitian heard Qin Xiang's question, he was stunned, as though he had been struck by lightning. To cherish Rong. You know her from? It came up from below. Lin Jitian stared blankly at Qin Xiang for a good long while before he asked. So you're her father? Qin Xiang was also surprised. He had initially thought that finding Lin Shirong's father would be rather difficult, but he never expected that it would actually happen so easily. Tell me inside. Lin Jitian immediately let Qin Xiang bring him to the house. C-2795. C-2795 Lin Jitian had been here for many years, and when he first came up by himself, he did not expect that he would be able to come to the Divine Wasteland alive. After that, he explored the Divine Wasteland for a long time by himself, and found the entrance to the Flying Dragon Pag. Oh, in the end. Sigh, I am truly sorry for abusing Rome. Back then, I was truly heartless and abandoned her just like that. Lin Jitian heaved a long sigh, his face full of guilt. She's having a good time. Although Qin Xiang had a grudge with him before, they became friends in the end. Now, Lin Shirong's personality was much better, and he got along well with the other girls in the Hundreds of Flowers village. That's good, that's good. Lin Jitian took a sip of his wine. He didn't ask Qin Xiang what their relations Hi+P was, but he could tll that Qin Xiang had treated Lin Shirong well, otherwise he wouldn't have come here to help Lin Shirong look for his father. I will have a chance to see her in the future. Qin Xiang laughed. Uncle, don't tell me your cultivation has always been like this, it shouldn't be. No matter what, you are a former primitive Supreme Lord, and have a certain level of foundation. I was originally a Tai Zun realm cultivator, but my luck was bad. After entering the Myriad Tao Mausoleum, I got injured, and then that happened. Lin Jitian's face was filled with helplessness as his strength regressed. This was indeed an extremely tragic thing. When Qin Xiang found out that Lin Jitian had been to the Myriad Tao Mausoleum, he immediately took out the righteous law beads, but it did not have any reaction, causing him to heave a sigh of relief. Justice law beads. Lin Jitian suddenly laughed. Looks like you've also encountered that kind of thing before. This. Please forgive me, uncle. Qin Xiang did not expect Lin Jitian to actually know about the affairs of the evil soul. It's fine, I can completely understand. When those guys from the Myriad Tao Mausoleum came back, many of them did indeed get pushed over by the evil soul, and some even carried the Supreme Lord's cultivation. Lin Jitian laughed out loud. Back then, when an elder of the clan's supreme level came out from the Myriad Tao Mausoleum and infected the entire evil soul, the last sect was extremely unfortunate. Uncle, is the Myriad Tao Mausoleum really so scary? Qin Xiang was very curious about the Myriad Tao Mausoleum. Adding to the fact that he had previously eaten the Myriad Tao Divine Tablets formation, he saw an image of the Myriad Tao Mausoleum. Don't you see that the Yuan Hi plus Tao school is empty? Those inner disciples went all out in their cultivation, and before they could enter the Myriad Tao Mausoleum, they had already stepped into the 6GODS stage. Lin Jitian said, with your current cultivation, you will not be able to go, even the worst is at the early stages of 6GODS stage. I know, that's why I need to find a way to increase my cultivation. Qin Xiang needed to level up even more now. He never thought that he would be preparing to enter Myriad Tao Mausoleum. If you can step into the 6GODS stage before you enter, then I'll follow you. I'm pretty familiar with the inside, and I've even picked up some good stuff before. Lin Jitian said as he took out a black pole. This item is called the six-legged divine rod. God stick, this name doesn't sound too strong. Chen Xiang couldn't help but laugh. Don't laugh, this thing is very strong. Back then, I was able to beat that supreme elder of the Azure Dragon School into a dog. Lin Jitian chuckled. Even though I am currently a 3 profound realm, as long as I recover, I will be able to regain my new strength. So it's like that, what do you mean by beating me up into a dog? Chen Xiang was very curious about the power of the 6 divine rods. One swing of the rod. If the hit is accurate, that fellow will die immediately. Then, the dog will be reincarnated into the animal path. Lin Jitian laughed. Impressive, of course, you can also turn others into pigs or something. But the most important thing is that guy still has his memories, but he himself became a beast. So vicious, but I like it. Chen Xiang exclaimed. Hee, beating people up is fine, but those evil souls are most afraid of this rod of mine. If they were to be hit by it, I can immediately turn them into pigs and dogs. Lin Jitian's face was full of arrogance as he laughed. When the time comes, I'll bring you in and guarantee your safety. Uncle, you have such a powerful weapon, why are you injured? Chen Xiang was very suspicious about this. What other powerful things is there in Myriad Tao Mausoleum? I was injured by someone. Someone tried to use this stick of mine, and it was a few very strong guys who tried to attack me at the same time. Speaking of this, Lin Jitian's face was filled with indignation. Chen Xiang thought for a moment, then said, Don't tell me that it was done by someone Uncle is familiar with, that normally speaking, if you are not a familiar person, it would be difficult for him to injure you, but if you are surrounded by experts, even if Uncle cannot beat them, it would not be a problem for you to escape, because if the opponent lets you escape, I'm afraid that you can still kill Uncle. Smart. Lin Jitian praised them. Those fellows weren't as strong as me, and in the end they were beaten into pigs by me, then killed by them. I will only tell you this because at that time I was in the same squad as them, and they saw me picking up this rod, and used it to beat up many fellows into dogs, cows, sheep, and pigs. The Yuan S.H.I. plus Tao School actually has such a person. I thought this place was safe before this. Chen Xiang took a deep breath. They're not from the Yuan S.H.I. plus Tao School. They're from the 6 great divine sects. You might not have heard that there are 4 stronger sects hidden within this 1,000th floor, and once they become 4 great divine sects, they will all be able to grasp a portion of the 4 great divine arts. For example, the one behind the Yuan S.H.I. plus Tao School is the 6 great divine sects who cultivate the 6 realms magic kung fu. Then there's the Heavenly Alchemy Divine Sect. This one cultivates the heavenly alchemy, it's very mysterious, I don't know which sect he's in charge of. Then there's the Heaven's Mandate Divine Sects. Then there's the one who cultivates the heavenly spirit kung fu, and lastly there's the one who cultivates the God murdering sword technique. There is actually such a power. Chen Xiang had indeed not heard of them before, but he was certain that these 4 divine sects were very powerful. Every time I enter the Myriad Tao Mausoleum, this 4 great divine sects will partake. 1p8 because this 4 great divine sects was the one that was built. They have a detailed map of the place, and after I killed those guys that plotted against me, I got the map. Lin Jitian said in a low voice. Because Chen Xiang knew Lin Shirong and even helped Lin Shirong come here to find him, Lin Jitian was very close to him. That was why he told Chen Xiang such a secret. Lin Jitian actually had a map of the Myriad Tao Mausoleum. This made Chen Xiang extremely excited. He wanted to go there and take a look. Uncle, what is the relations Hi plus P between Myriad Tao Divine Tablets Formation and Myriad Tao Mausoleum? Chen Xiang had always been suspicious of this, even though he could guess one thing. Myriad Tao Divine Tablets formation is the person who turned the key into the key, but no one knows how to turn it into the key, so after a while, everyone thought that it was a legend. However, from the few guys who plotted against me, I found out that only Heavenly Alchemy Divine Sect knows how to turn the key into the key, and of course, the key is not only to open the door to Myriad Tao Mausoleum, but also to open many tombs inside. C. 2796. C. 2796 Lin Jitian had a rather good understanding of the Myriad Tao Mausoleum. First, he had the map of the Myriad Tao Mausoleum in his hands, which was extremely important. Although I have a map, I don't have a key. There are places that require a key to pass through. That way it would be safer. Lin Jitian sighed. It's a pity that there aren't many keys. When we first went in, there were very few keys, and only the 4 great divine sects had them, but it's very big inside. We were split into groups to explore around, and were unable to stay with those leaders. Chen Xiang did not tell Lin Jitian that he had the key to the Myriad Tao Mausoleum. Uncle, is there any powerful alchemist in this Yuan Hi plus Tao school? Chen Xiang asked. I want to learn pill refining. Chen Xiang only wanted to learn how to refine pills that were useful to 6G ODS stage. He felt that Yuan Hi plus Tao school must have this kind of alchemist. It was just that it was not easy to see. The alchemist in this Yuan Hi plus Tao school are all rather special existences. Although they are all part of the Yuan Hi plus Tao school, other than the leader no one else can control them. Lin Jitian did not expect Chen Xiang to actually want to learn alchemy. I advise you to not learn alchemy in Yuan Hi plus Tao school. Why not? Chen Xiang could already see something from Lin Jitian's expression. There is a super origin Dan hall in the Yuan Hi plus Tao school, and this Yuan Hi plus Tao school is an independent existence. Other than the leader, no one else can control them. If you want to learn alchemy, you have to go to the Super Origin Dan Hall. Lin Jitian sighed. Everywhere in Yuan Hi plus Tao school is good, so it can be considered fair, but only the Super Origin Dan Hall is very dark. Although the alchemist inside is pretty strong, there are many dark curtains inside, and other people don't know, but I have been in the Yuan Hi plus Tao school for a long time, so I am more clear on the situation inside. Is the alchemist inside really that skilled? Is there any way to learn something from it, such as a pill formula? Chen Xiang asked. He was helpless against the pills that could help him break through to 6G ODS stage, and had no direction to go. If the alchemist doesn't have a certain level of cultivation, then he would have disappeared from the Yuan Hi plus Tao school long ago. The Yuan Hi plus Tao school only turning a blind eye to the Super Origin Dan Hall was also because the Super Origin Dan Hall here truly do have a decent level of cultivation. Lin Jitian said. If you aren't afraid of hards, Hi plus PS, then you can give it a try. Then how do we enter the Super Origin Dan Hall? Chen Xiang had already decided to go in and look for some precious pill formulas. This 1000th floor also required a lot of pills, which could be seen from the special position Super Origin Dan Hall had in the Yuan Hi plus Tao school. I don't know anyone in the Super Origin Dan Hall. Furthermore, my current strength has regressed, so it's very difficult for you to live a good life in the Super Origin Dan Hall. You can only use the most basic method to enter. Lin Jitian took out a storage bag and said, First, we have to give them 1 billion entrance fee. There's 1 billion in there, take it. Lin Jitian felt that Chen Xiang didn't have a 1 billion Dao crystal, so he gave it to Chen Xiang as a gift. Seeing Lin Jitian like this, Chen Xiang knew that Lin Jitian should not be lacking any Dao crystal, but he did not have much on hand, so he took it. Thank you, uncle. Chen Xiang was quite touched. Not long after knowing him, Lin Jitian had given him so many Dao crystal. Those guys will arrange for you to join the Super Origin Dan Hall as soon as they see that you have Dao crystal. As for the inner sect disciples, I will help you greet the inner sect elders. Yes, elder. Lin Jitian scratched Chen Xiang's head and laughed. Seems like I need to work hard to recover my strength, so that you won't be bullied in the future. I need to go into closed-door cultivation for a period of time. When I'm out of closed-door cultivation, I will come to Super Origin Dan Hall to find you. Yes. Chen Xiang hurriedly nodded, then Lin Jitian told him the way to the Super Origin Dan Hall. Just like this, they parted after a short meeting. The Super Origin Dan Hall was located on the edge of the Primal Sky Mountain and was a very small villa. After all, there weren't many people inside. Chen Xiang was confident in his abilities and techniques, so even if he knew that it was dark inside, he was not worried. Because he had the entry fee for the 1 billion Dao crystal, Chen Xiang successfully obtained the qualifications to enter the Super Origin Dan Hall and also obtained a jade plate. From today onwards, you are a member of the Super Origin Dan Hall. You are at least a late period of 3 profound realm. If you want to learn the skills to refine pills, you have to start from the most basic of tasks. An elder who was in charge of receiving the guests brought Chen Xiang to a medicinal field in the villa. When Chen Xiang saw these medicinal ingredients, he immediately knew that they were all high-grade heavenly God medicine. Generally speaking, it had some effect on 3 profound realm. You are in charge of taking care of the herbs here. Remember, if anyone comes here and doesn't show the golden jade token, you must not let them pick the herbs. If they force you, just break this bead. The old man said, taking care of the herb fields is a very difficult task. Don't think that this is a very poor job. Chen Xiang took the pearl, nodded his head, and walked away while briming with emotions. There should be quite a number of medicinal fields here. Right now, I only have 3 acres of land to take care of. It can be considered relatively small. Chen Xiang looked at the herbs inside carefully and took out a notebook. 3 kinds of flowers. 3 acres of land with different kinds of flowers. 1,000 flowers per mu. Let me count and see. Chen Xiang released his divine sense to count it out, then nodded his head. I don't know what kind of medicinal herb this is, but it should be of some use. If I copy it, no one will notice. Chen Xiang looked at his surroundings, then used teleportation to move 3 of them into his own Yuyao Mountain villa to make a copy. After duplicating them, he moved them back. This really is a good job. Although he did not know what the uses of the 3 flowers were, he was sure that they were relatively more valuable. Otherwise, he would not have warned him so repeatedly. Chen Xiang still needed to use his Dao energy to infiltrate the well every day so that the water in the well would contain even more Dao energy and water the medicinal field. Just like this, a few days had passed. This matter was relatively easy for Chen Xiang, but he didn't know when he would be able to obtain those precious pill formulas. Suddenly, someone entered the medicinal field. It was 2 young men. One of them was a man in dazzling golden clothes. The other one was dressed in ordinary clothes and looked like a lackey. Who are you? What do you want? Chen Xiang anxiously shouted. His voice was stern, because the 2 of them seemed to be sneaking around. We're here to pick the herbs. The golden-robed man looked coldly at Chen Xiang. Where's the golden jade token? You don't have the golden jade token. You are not allowed to pick it. Please show it to us, Chen Xiang said. The 2 of them were late period of 3 profound realm S, but judging from their postures, they should be the more tyrannical kind. These kind of people usually had a backer. I want to take the medicinal ingredient. Do you know who I am? When the golden-robed man heard Chen Xiang's question, he was immediately enraged and glared at Chen Xiang. C. 2797. C. 2797. Encountering such a thing also caught Chen Xiang by surprise. Judging from his arrogant attitude, this golden-robed man definitely had a good background. But if he was allowed to pick the herbs like this, wouldn't he be taking the blame then? Chen Xiang took out a bead and said, "Earlier, an elder told me, if there is someone who wants to forcefully pick the herbs, let me crush this bead." "You ignorant fellow, you must have just arrived." The follower behind the golden-robed man immediately sneered. "The young master in front of you is the son of the third hall master of the Super Origin Dan Hall, Yu Haorui. He came to pick the medicinal ingredients, and he doesn't need any of the golden jade medallions. I don't care who he is. I only recognize the golden jade token. If you guys are truly capable, getting the golden jade token will not be a problem, right?" Chen Xiang did not believe him. He felt that these two were here because they recognized him as a newcomer, so they wanted to take advantage of him. If the other party came to pick the jade token when they didn't have any, they would investigate, and if they refused to admit to it, then they would make him take the blame. This small trick was easily seen through. "Alright, remember this. I must let you have a good look." Yu Haorui was full of anger, he snorted and left. Chen Xiang heaved a sigh of relief, shook his head and sighed. As expected, it's as Uncle Lin said, the environment inside is not very good. As long as I can obtain the pill formula, I'll leave immediately. With the recipe, he would be able to break free. The novel Abdu. If he broke through to 6G ODS stage, then he could become a true disciple and wouldn't have to suffer these ARDS anymore. At night, an elder came to this place. "Elder, it's so late. What's the matter?" Chen Xiang asked. At the beginning, he had guessed that the Elders Guild would talk about Yu Haorui, but the elders did not. "These herbs are almost ripe. Pick them up tonight. As long as the flowers don't hurt the stem, I'll wait for you inside." The elder took out a golden jade token and entered the room. Chen Xiang immediately went to pick the flowers planted on the 3 acres of land. "That's right, leave it for the night in the ENT tomorrow we will begin to organize and refine it." The elder nodded in satisfaction and pointed to the entrance to the ENT. When Chen Xiang came up, the elder said, "You were tired just now, go rest. I'll stay here and watch." Chen Xiang, on the other hand, was not tired. These matters were all trivial to him, but he still needed to rest, and then, he returned to his room. In the middle of the night, he suddenly sensed that something was wrong. He jumped up from the bed and hastily headed to the larger room next to the herb field. "Where did this guy go? Didn't you say that you need to stay the night?" Chen Xiang suddenly felt that something was amiss. He immediately entered the ENT and saw that the 3,000 flowers were all gone. "We've been tricked. Old bastard. Chen Xiang angrily struck the wall with his palm. Not long after he entered, he was already tricked. If that elder said that he was taking all the flowers, he wouldn't be able to explain it. "Do we have to help this bastard take the blame? Good. Since you dare to harm me, Chen Xiang, then I will not be merciful, and will return it back to you 100 times, 1,000 times over." Chen Xiang's heart suddenly became gloomy and cold. Although these flowers were all high-grade heavenly God medicine, they were easy to plant. He had a lot of them in the Yu Yao mountain villa. He immediately plucked them and placed them in the ENT, then quickly walked up. Daybreak, that elder came, and he even brought Yu Haorui, the hall master's son, over. Seeing the two of them together, Chen Xiang understood even more. So these two had colluded with him to plot against him. Behind them was an old man with long, straight white hair. This old man seemed to be filled with righteousness, and there was even a faint medicinal fragrance coming from him. "Master W. the Sansu flowers you want is in the ENT. When the elder spoke, he was very respectful to the old man. However, Chun Xiang had already seen through all of this, and remembered what happened just now. The arrogant Yu Haorui was laughing at him. The elder was extremely calm, as though nothing had happened. Good, good, good. This sansu flowers is the main ingredient to concoct the spirit-restoring pill. Its healing effect is very good. That Master W.A.N.G. laughed and said, after waiting for 3 years, I have finally matured. Master W.N.G. For the past 3 years, these sansu flowers have been under the care of this Chun Xiang fellow, and he has taken good care of them. The elder pointed at Chun Xiang and laughed. This was to let the Master W.A.N.G. know that was in charge of all the sansu flowers. At that time, it would be even easier for him to bite Chun Xiang. If it's really good, then I will definitely get a reward. Master W.A.N.G. looked down and nodded with a smile. Chun Xiang harumphed in his heart, then followed them into the basement. The elder opened the door and entered. When he saw that the place was filled with sansu flowers, he was stunned. Yu Haorui was also the same, because he and this elder had already overnight kept the sansu flowers in their pockets, and then feeded the blame to Chun Xiang, making Chun Xiang take the blame. At that time, Chun Xiang would be punished, but they would be able to sell off a large number of sansu flowers. Not bad, you planted well. Master W.A.N.G. was extremely happy. With a wave of his sleeve, he took care of the sansu flowers, then smiled as he said, Little guy, you took care of all the sansu flowers, right? I have never seen such a good sansu flowers. You use your talent in this area. The elder and Yu Haorui were both stunned. They did not know how Chun Xiang suddenly produced so many sansu flowers, and the quality was so good too. Reporting to Master W.A.N.G., these are all grown by this brat. Chun Xiang immediately nodded his head, since that elder had said that he was under Chun Xiang's care for the past 3 years, even though he had only been here for a few days. All right. Come with me from now on. I also have some medicinal fields to take care of. Let's go. Master W.A.N.G. was a very cheerful old man. He always had a smile on his face, and now he was even happier. Chun Xiang also never thought that it would be such a result. Then I ask Master W.A.N.G. to take good care of me in the future. Chun Xiang was also very happy. He then looked at the elder and smiled. Thank you, elder, for taking good care of me these past 3 years. I will remember all the good things you have done. With that, Chun Xiang followed Master W.A.N.G. and left the basement. Yu Haorui watched as Chun Xiang and the Master W.A.N.G. left with a cold expression on his face. What's going on? This guy who makes people feel so disgusted is actually able to follow by Master W.A.N.G.'s side. My father had recommended it many times to Master W.A.N.G. and wished that I would be able to follow by his side. However, I never succeeded. This newbie actually stayed by Master W.A.N.G.'s side just like that? Right, what exactly are those sansu flowers? We were the ones who took them away. C. 2798. C. 2798. The quality of the sansu flowers that Chun Xiang had cultivated with the world God's spring was indeed very good. Master W.A.N.G. could tell with a single glance that the powerful alchemist attached great importance to the quality of the medicinal ingredients. The sansu flowers is still here. The elder took out a few sansu flowers and frowned. This brat must have a lot of them. This guy is very mysterious, you should pay more attention to him. Oh right, don't tell your father about this. If he finds out that our scheme involves the Master W.A.N.G., neither of us will get away scot-free. The elder said solemnly. Yu Haorui nodded. I understand. Chun Xiang followed Master W.A.N.G. to a very quiet place. This was a very big courtyard with only a few mansions, the rest were herb fields. These medicinal ingredients are all relatively precious, especially those 2 medicinal fields over there. The medicinal ingredients in them are all supreme divine medicines. The Master W.A.N.G. pointed to the 2 golden-colored dirt fields and said, "These are all heaven's divine medicines. Although they are only of high quality, most of them are relatively rare. As for the more common ones, I will let others plant them." Chen Xiang looked at those medicinal herbs, and his heart was already blooming with joy. Master W.A.N.G. Little brat Chen Xiang has also learned how to refine pills before. I hope Master can give me some pointers in the future. Chen Xiang immediately said, "This is good too, since you can make the sansu flowers be so good, it means that your mental state is not bad. If there's any difficulty in refining pills, come find me." Master W.A.N.G. was very easy to talk to, as he smiled and nodded. Chen Xiang now understood the situation of the Super Origin Dan Hall. These pill refiners were the most authoritative people here. It could be seen from how the arrogant Yu Haruei treated the Master W.A.N.G. That brat will thank the Master W.A.N.G. first. Chen Xiang said, "Right now, this punk is going to take care of the Master W.A.N.G.'s medicinal herbs." Regarding the cultivation of medicinal herbs, even if Chen Xiang did not use the creation God's spring, he would still grow them well. For example, he would use the special primitive Tao power to condense a year-old right now, and then rain down on those medicinal fields. When Master W.A.N.G. saw the sansu flowers, he was pleasantly surprised and said, "Chen Xiang, the Tao energy you use contains a very strong life force. No wonder the medicinal ingredients you plant are so good." "Really? I didn't know that there was such a life force in my Tao." Chen Xiang said. He pretended not to know, because this kind of life force was not something that just anyone could have. "I'm not surprised. Some people are born with some sort of special Tao meridian. If these herbs were to be watered by you for a period of time, the quality would surely soar. Why didn't I meet you earlier?" Master W.A.N.G.'s face was full of joy. At this time, he also liked Chen Xiang a lot. After the watering was done, Chen Xiang came over to help the Master W.A.N.G. deal with the sansu flowers. "Master W.A.N.G., I have been stuck at the late period of 3 profound realm and have been unable to break through. Is there any pills that can help me break through to 6 Gods stage?" Chen Xiang boldly asked. "Yes. 6 Gods Guiyuan Dan. The ingredients needed to concoct this kind of pill are extremely rare. I only have 4 pills with me, so I still need 2 more." The Master W.A.N.G. sighed. Although this is only a high-grade heavenly Tao medicine, it is more difficult to find. And the difficulty level of the refining process is also quite high. "What medicinal herbs are they?" Chen Xiang asked anxiously. "The 5 elemental dew fruits are one of the 5, but I only have 4 of the 5 elemental dew fruit. Besides the gold soul dew fruit, the rest are in this herb field. Other than the 5 elements dew fruits, the last one is the spirit-returning purple bamboo." Master W.A.N.G. said, "If you can find these 2, I am willing to refine a batch of 6 Gods Guiyuan Dan for you. Where do I need to go?" Chen Xiang didn't have a clue when he broke through the 6 Gods stage. Master W.A.N.G. shook his head. "I'm not sure where I can find it, but there's a huge possibility that the location of these 2 herbs would be in the Taichung Forest, which is very close to Heavenly Alchemy Divine Sect. There are all kinds of strange flowers and herbs in the Taichung Forest." Elder W.A.N.G., do you mean that we can find it inside? Wouldn't Taichung Forest be very dangerous then? Chen Xiang was very familiar with this kind of place. There were all sorts of strange flowers and plants here, and it was impossible for there to be no danger. "Indeed. But you don't need to go in yourself, just buy them with enough Tao crystal. Generally speaking, these two medicinal ingredients are only worth 100 million Dao crystal. You can use 50 million to buy one. Although the Master W.A.N.G. was only concocting pills, he knew the rules for entering the Super Origin Dan Hall. Chen Xiang would definitely be relatively wealthy if he was able to take out 1 billion pills. Seeing Chen Xiang being so anxious, Master W.A.N.G. laughed. You don't really want to go, right? Actually, there was no need to be too anxious. How about this? You first learn how to make natural laudan that can hit high rank, then come with me to Partic. 1 p. 8 in a pill gathering, maybe we can get there. Chen Xiang knew that there were not many high-ranked natural laudan that could be refined, so being able to learn it was a good opportunity. Alright, then I'll be troubling Elder W.A.N.G. Chen Xiang said. He also wanted to see the level of alchemist in the 1,000 floors. After they had arranged the sansu flowers, Master W.A.N.G. took out a pill furnace and began to explain the characteristics of the 3 types of flowers, as well as some of the changes that needed to be noted during the refining process. Chen Xiang listened attentively, and although his pill techniques were different, these were all very useful things. After Master W.A.N.G. finished his detailed explanation, he began to refine the pill. He placed the 3 sansu flowers into the pill furnace, and had Chen Xiang pay attention to the temperature changes in the furnace, as well as the reaction of the sansu flowers. The Master W.A.N.G. patiently guided Chen Xiang, but he did not tell Chen Xiang about his pill technique. After all, Chen Xiang was not his disciple, and he also knew that Chen Xiang had his own pill technique. Therefore, he only needed to tell Chen Xiang about the changes in the medicinal ingredients as well as the various reactions and changes that would occur during the refining process. In less than an hour, Master W.A.N.G. had already opened the pill furnace. He took out 4 bright red pellets and laughed. This is the Eternal Spirit's pill. It can quickly recover injuries and is extremely useful for cultivators of the 3 profound realm. It can instantly regenerate bones and flesh, and replenish blood and qi. It is a cheap and extremely effective natural laudan. The Master W.A.N.G.'s pill techniques were extremely brilliant. He had refined 4 pills in such a short period of time, and more importantly, in order to guide Chen Xiang, he had slowed down his speed. To be able to refine 1 pill in 1 furnace is to pass. To refine 2 pills is to be outstanding. To refine 3 pills is to be considered a genius. To refine 4 pills, just like me, is to become a master. The Master W.A.N.G. laughed and said, You keep them. Maybe we can use them in the future. This is not expensive either. Afterwards, Chen Xiang went to refine it himself. He had already ACCU. Mulat a lot of experience in refining natural laudan. The Tianhun Gold Dan that he refined previously was one that he could do so on his own. However, he found it rather difficult to concoct these kinds of spirit-returning pill, which resulted in him being able to refine only 2 pills in a batch. Not bad, not bad. 1 furnace and 2 pills, even if the quality is high, you should be a genius now. In the future, you will have no problem refining 3 pills. Chen Xiang had surprised the Master W.A.N.G. yet again. Okay, I will refine all these sansu flowers for you. I will first help leader refine a batch of pills. It might take a few days. Master W.A.N.G. patted Chen Xiang's shoulders before disappearing without a trace. C2799. C2799. Chen Xiang looked at the many sansu flowers here, and suddenly understood that the Master W.A.N.G. only asked him to help concoct pills. In this way, he could save a lot of trouble. This old fox. Chen Xiang shook his head and sighed. The only thing he could do was to refine them, since this Master W.A.N.G. was pretty good. If he could find the other 2 6G. ODS Guiyuan Dan S, he would be able to obtain them very quickly. Chen Xiang did not try to refine it quickly. If he were to use the Heavenly Alchemy Dao line, he would be able to do it much faster than before, but Master W.A.N.G. would definitely suspect it. After all, the Heavenly Alchemy Dao line was still an Astonis HI plus ing thing. Refining a cauldron in an hour shouldn't be a problem. Chen Xiang did not know how long he would have to concoct it. In short, it would take him a long time, since he would need to concoct 1,000 batches. Very quickly, a few days had passed, and Chen Xiang had only refined 70 batches of sansu flowers. If he wanted to completely refine all of them, he would need a few months. Chen Xiang originally thought that the Master W.A.N.G. would leave all of the work to him. He never expected the Master W.A.N.G. to suddenly come out. How many batches have been forged? Master W.A.N.G. looked at the sansu flowers and asked as there were fewer of them. 70 batches, all of them are here. Chen Xiang pointed to a jade box at the side. Quite fast. Good, good, good. Master W.A.N.G. was very satisfied. Then he said, I will first give the pill that I have just refined to leader. I will return later with table of contents, the novel Ibdu. If you refine them together, these pills will be rewarded to some inner disciples. All right. Chen Xiang nodded, then continued to seriously refine pills. Not long after Master W.A.N.G. left, someone knocked on the door of the courtyard loudly. Who is it? Although I have been here for a few days, I am still unfamiliar with the people here. Could it be that you Haorue and the elder are looking for me here? Chen Xiang originally did not plan to open the door, but a shout came from outside. Elder W.A.N.G. open the door. You can't go back on your word, and said that you would have a contest today. Could it be that you are afraid of me, and are now a cowering tortoise? This voice was filled with anger, because he had been continuously knocking on the door for quite some time now. It did not feel good to be shut out. So you're looking for a fight with Elder W.A.N.G., not looking for trouble with me. Chen Xiang anxiously walked over to open the door, and saw more than 10 people outside. Among them were Yu Haorue and the elder who had tricked him before. Master W.A.N.G. has gone to deliver the pills to leader. He will only be back after a while. Chen Xiang said, Everyone, please come in. Humph. You were in there all along? Yu Haorue suddenly became angry. Knocking on the door for so long, did you not hear it? Letting Elder Qin wait outside for so long, this is a great disrespect, a capital offense. Quickly take this little thing down. He is just a little servant helping the Master W.A.N.G. grow medicinal herbs. Catch him and beat him up 300 times. The elder who tricked Chen Xiang shouted. He was also a white-haired old man wearing a black robe, and when he saw that someone was going to take down Chen Xiang, he immediately said, Stop, how can you casually touch Elder W.A.N.G.'s people? Don't you know this guy's temper? If this little fellow is able to keep Elder W.A.N.G. here to grow medicinal herbs, then it must have some exceptional qualities. If you anger Elder W.A.N.G., then you all must bear the consequences. Elder Chen's words scared the two of them and caused them to S.H.I. plus ver. They were too jealous of Chen Xiang, so when they saw Chen Xiang just now, they had such a good opportunity to teach him a lesson. Old Chen and the rest of the 10 entered the courtyard and saw the sansu flowers and a pill furnace. This pill furnace is still warm. Has Elder W.A.N.G. just left? But this is not Elder W.A.N.G.'s pill furnace. That Elder Chen touched Chen Xiang's pill furnace and felt a sense of warmth. This is my furnace. I was too engrossed in concocting the spirit-restoring pill just now that I didn't hear Master Chen's words. Please forgive me. Chen Xiang immediately said. Elder Chen and more than a dozen other people were stunned. This brat in front of them actually knew how to refine the spirit-restoring pill. This made them somewhat unable to believe it, because on the way here, Yu Haruei had told them that the Master W.A.N.G. had just received a kid who grew medicinal ingredients. Yu Haruei and the little elder knew that Chen Xiang had only just arrived and actually knew how to refine pills. This made them feel more and more that Chen Xiang was evil, especially regarding the 3,000 Sansu flowers from before. Elder Chen saw a jade box and hurriedly walked over to open it. A thick medicinal fragrance wafted out, and inside the box, there were about 200 pills. It was obvious that they were of decent quality. You refined all of this? Elder Chen could not believe it, because he knew how rare it was to be able to concoct such a high-quality pill. It is indeed the clumsy pill that this young man refined. Master Chen, please give me a few pointers. Chen Xiang immediately said respectfully. Awkward my ass, giving me pointers my ass. Elder Chen inwardly exclaimed a few words, but he did not say it out loud. Elder Chen nodded his head. This is already not bad. Right, how many pills can you refine in one furnace? Only 2 pills. Master W.A.N.G. can refine 4, but the difference between us is too great, I can't even catch up to him. Chen Xiang sighed. 2 pills is already excellent, you don't have to be too modest. Elder W.A.N.G. having a disciple like you also makes me envious. Elder Chen knew that Chen Xiang's talent was not bad. This kid is not Elder W.A.N.G's disciple, Chen Xiang said, but Elder W.A.N.G. is actually very generous. He personally taught me how to refine the spirit-returning pill. Yu Haruei said in a low voice. You can refine the sapphire divine pill? Moreover, there was even a pot of 2 pills. This was truly unbelievable, as they might even be refined by the Master W.A.N.G. Don't be fooled by this brat's pretentious appearance. What I just said is the truth, Chen Xiang said. Hearing Yu Haruei say that, Elder Chen became suspicious. Chen Xiang was truly too excellent. The quality of the restoration spirit pill he refined was not bad. Being able to stand shoulder to shoulder with him, no matter how he looked at it, it seemed to be something Elder W.A.N.G. refined. In this super origin Dan Hall, to be able to refine such a good inheritance pill, he had to at least be a 6 GODS stage cultivator. But the Chen Xiang in front of him was just a late period of 3 profound realm. This was indeed a big point. I came here to fulfill my promise. Previously, the better I was with Elder W.A.N.G. we wanted to have a spar here, mainly on pill refining. Since this is the sapphire divine pill that Elder W.A.N.G. instructed you to refine, why don't we have a compet? 1. Tian? Of course, it's my disciple who will compete with you, Elder Chen said. He secretly hoped in his heart that Chen Xiang would agree to it, because once his disciple won, he would be able to cause a ruckus here and say that the disciple that Elder W.A.N.G. had pointed out was inferior to his Yun. C. 2800. C. 2800. Even though Chen Xiang looked young, he was definitely an old cunning fox. How could he not see through the other party's intentions? Master Chen's disciple must be stronger than the little brat. There is no need to compete to know, Chen Xiang immediately said, pretending to be flattered. You are too modest. For you to be able to concoct such a high level of spirit-returning pill, you already possess the power to compete with my disciple. Elder Chen chuckled. Chen Xiang knew that this kind of old fellow had the best face. If his disciple were to win against Master W.A.N.G., he would definitely feel very proud, and would even ruthlessly scold Master W.A.N.G. Chen Xiang could not agree to something like that without permission. If he lost, it would make the Master W.A.N.G. extremely embarrassed. As said, although he had the confidence of winning, he would not be so reckless. Chen Xiang only shook his head and said, Everyone, please come in. Master W.A.N.G. will be back soon. Yu Haruei laughed coldly. You are not willing to compete, right? So you were lying to us just now. You actually dared to lie to Master Chen. I am not lying. Wait for Master W.A.N.G. to come back first. If Master W.A.N.G. is unable to prove me, then I will do whatever you want. Chen Xiang knew that Yu Haruei was provoking him with just one look, but he would not be fooled. This also caused Yu Haruei to be even more enraged in his heart, and made him feel that there was a huge gap between him and Chen Xiang. Furthermore, he was the son of a hall master, and actually couldn't compare to this fellow who had just entered the Super Origin Dan Hall. On the contrary, because of the matter of the three elements flower, Chen Xiang had been able to soar to greatness, and even received guidance from the Master W.A.N.G. when he came to this place of the Master W.A.N.G. After Chen Xiang invited everyone into the hall, Elder Chen was still unwilling to give up. He wanted to have Chen Xiang compete with his disciple in pill refining, but Chen Xiang refused, saying that he had to get permission from the Master W.A.N.G. Very quickly, the Master W.A.N.G. returned. After arriving in the hall, he roughly guessed what was going on. Old W.A.N.G., this brat is truly cowardly. I asked him to have a match with my disciple to concoct a batch of pills, yet he dilly-dally. Elder Chen laughed. It's good that you are back now. Look, should we let the younger generation compete once? Master W.A.N.G. immediately nodded his head. That is no problem, the large compet. 1. Tie-in between us is very damaging. Letting the younger generation compete with us is actually not a bad idea. Chen Xiang, go and compete with him. You have to be confident in yourself. Since the Master W.A.N.G. had already said so, everyone now believed that Chen Xiang was the one who concocted all the spirit-returning pill. He was a genius that could concoct this kind of innate divine pill. If it were to expand in the future, he would definitely become a great master here, and would have a very high position like old Master W.A.N.G. Chen. Yu Haruei clenched his fists tightly, and hatred filled his heart. If Chen Xiang could become a master, then he would definitely step on him in the future, and he absolutely could not allow this to happen, because he had once offended Chen Xiang. If Chen Xiang became a master, then would definitely not let him off. All right, Master W.A.N.G. Just do your best to win. Chen Xiang had wanted to compete before, but he had to get the approval of the Master W.A.N.G. All right, then let's decide the rules of the compet. 1. Tie-in first. After all, this is a very important compet. 1. Tie-in. It represents the battle between me and Elder W.A.N.G. Elder Chen said, the people I've brought here today are all here as proof. Amongst the people that Elder Chen had brought, some of them were not bad, while the others were neutral. Although they were not masters in the Super Origin Dan Hall, they were still clan elders who specialized in handling the matters in the hall. First, draw the flames you want to use from the flame bead. The pill furnaces used are all ordinary ones. This way they can suppress some violent and extreme pill technique. These pill techniques are very unfair. Elder Chen said. Chen Xiang frowned. The so-called berserk and extreme pill techniques sounded like Crash Method S, because that was exactly the case for Crash Method S. This time round, he did not use his own furnace, nor did he use his own flame. There was still a huge restriction placed on his furnace, which was quite difficult. To Chen Xiang, being unable to use his own furnace was nothing, and it was not difficult at all. However, being unable to use his own flame was an unprecedented challenge, especially in this kind of showdown. All right. Master W.A.N.G. nodded his head, took out his fire pearl and said, everyone can only use one fire pearl. One fire pearl. Chen Xiang was secretly shocked. Just how many flames were there? One fire pearl is enough to concoct the soothing spirit pill. If it can't be refined with one fire bead, it means that its quality isn't good enough. Elder Chen nodded his head and took out a fire bead to fill it up. Chen Xiang had partic. 1p. Aided in many of pill refining compet. 1. Tie-ins, but this was his first time encountering such a rule. With such a huge restriction on the flames, he would not be able to use the crash method. Very quickly, the two grandmasters filled up the fire B, A, L, L, S and then placed them together in a box. At this moment, no one knew who created these two fire B, A, L, L, S, and this was to avoid the possibility of the other party faking it. The first one he pulled out was Chen Xiang. He pulled out a fire pearl and didn't know who injected the fire inside, but he felt it. The fire inside was not bad, stable and strong enough to concoct a batch of spirit recovering pellet. When we compete in the refining process, we will mainly compete in the overall quality. At that time, we will use our tools to test the overall quality. Elder Chen said to the Master W. A.N.G., "You don't have any objections, right?" "No, we can start now." The Master W. A.N.G. patted Chen Xiang's shoulders because he saw that Chen Xiang was a little nervous. He knew that Chen Xiang had just finished concocting the Sapphire Divine Pill, but he felt that Chen Xiang was able to concoct over 100 pills, and the quality was very stable, so he would definitely win. Master W. A.N.G., do you know that if you lose this time, this precious land of yours would be mine? Elder Chen laughed. It's still too late for you to regret it now. It's fine, even if you have the treasure land, it doesn't matter. Master W. A.N.G. opened his eyes wide and smiled faintly. His treasured land was famous, and it was something that he had fought for with his own strength. Hence, many people wanted to become the disciples of the Master W. A.N.G., because the medicinal herbs grown in this treasured land were many times faster than in other places. Therefore, even though Yu Haorui's father tried many times to get his son to follow beside Master W. A.N.G., he was always rejected by the latter. Elder Chen, if you lose, you will have to pay a corresponding price. You should be clear about this yourself. The Master W. A.N.G. laughed. I have been salivating over your overlord purple ginseng fruit for a long time, hee hee. That will depend if this kid has the ability to help you fight for it. Elder Chen also smiled happily. C2801. C2801. Hearing them say that, Chen Xiang immediately felt the pressure. He never thought that he would have to shoulder the burden of such a gamble. He used to gamble often, but it was all for his own sake, so he didn't feel any pressure. However, it was now for someone else, and a rather good senior at that. This gave him an unprecedented pressure. He looked at Elder Chen and secretly cursed him in his heart. Originally, Master W. A.N.G. did not mention about the gambling house, but the reason why Elder Chen brought it up was very obvious. He wanted to make Elder Chen feel pressured and then cause a ruckus. Seeing all of this, even though Chen Xiang felt pressured, he was definitely not fluid tiered. He was very confident in himself, in the many kinds of bet in pill refining. He was undefeated and had never lost. Instead, it was those guys who were initially full of themselves who had lost the most miserably. Is there a time limit? Chen Xiang suddenly asked. 2 hours. Elder Chen said, it's usually like this, it's starting now. The pill furnaces had already been prepared for them, they were all normal pill furnaces. They were slightly stronger than the mud. Chen Xiang had not tried using this kind of broken pill furnace to concoct pills before. Elder Chen's disciple was a middle-aged man. With 6G ODS stages cultivation, looking at his dressing, it was obvious that he cared a lot about other people's eyesight. An alchemist had been refining pills all year round, so it was rare for him to dress up like this. Chen Xiang also started. He put the 3 elements flour into the pill furnace, and then took out the flame from the fire pearl and poured it into the furnace. The flames inside the fire pearl all had their own unique qi. If they had mixed in other flames, Elder Chen and Master W. A.N.G., the two old cunning foxes, would definitely know about it, thus Chen Xiang would not use his own flames. Chen Xiang was unsure, because he could not use the crash method to refine it, and he did not know how high the quality would be. Because the heavenly alchemy he used was very special, it could allow him to quickly refine pills and make them easy to refine. However, if it was in pursuit of high quality without using the crash method, it was impossible. Let's see if I can use the power inside the heavenly alchemy Dao line. Chen Xiang secretly channeled the power of the heavenly alchemy Dao line and poured it into the fire pearl. He only used it a little. Although it did not cause any changes to the flame, it helped to refine the ingredients in the pill furnace quickly. How magical! As long as I use the power of the heavenly alchemy Dao line, no matter what kind of flame I use, I can quickly refine it. Chen Xiang looked at Master W. A.N.G. and Elder Chen, but they did not discover anything, so he continued to release heavenly alchemy Dao power. This went on for a while, and the more he used it, the more times he was discovered. The heavenly alchemy Dao power was a very mysterious existence. It did not have any aura, especially when used within the flames. It was even more difficult to detect. Previously, when he was refining the three elements flower, he did not try to use the heavenly alchemy Dao power to refine it, but today, when he used it, the refining speed was actually that fast. Looks like I've always been using the heavenly alchemy Dao power, so the quality of the pills I've refined will definitely not be low. It seems like I have a good chance to unearth this heavenly alchemy Dao power when I'm free. Although I can use it, I don't know what its uses are. Chen Xiang now knew the benefits of heavenly alchemy Dao power. He had always been paying attention to the usage of the flame orb. Before, he had been very careful in using it, but now he could be very bold because when the flame mixed with the heavenly alchemy Dao power, it burned very quickly, just like the last 10 times. Currently, the three elements within his pill furnace had already turned into medicinal liquid. Now, he also realized that the medicinal liquid that was refined by the heavenly alchemy Dao power could be fused even more easily. Previously, when he was refining the three elements flower, although he managed to successfully fuse it, it was not that fast. It was not that simple. Previously, when the medicinal liquids from the three flowers merged with each other, it was as if the three lumps of flour were kneaded together. Although this was not very difficult, it required a bit of time and strength. However, using the heavenly alchemy Dao power now was like fusing 3 drops of water together. It was the easiest. Even though the flames are still sufficient, we are still unable to use the crash method. I wonder how much the quality of the pills refined by the heavenly alchemy Dao power will increase. Chen Xiang released even more heavenly alchemy Dao power and poured them into the ball of fused medicinal liquid. That lump of medicinal liquid was originally red, but after he injected it into the heavenly alchemy Dao power, its color gradually became lighter, and with the burning of the flames, it finally became white. When he had not used the heavenly alchemy Dao power previously, it had always been red. I wonder if there are any effects. Regardless, I'll just forge it first. Chen Xiang split the ball of white medicinal liquid into 2, and condensed it into a medicinal crystal. In the end, it slowly compressed, and at the very end, the 2 pellets suddenly became red again, becoming dark red. This dark red color seemed to be completely lifeless. It was far from the beautiful, red spirit-returning pill that he had refined before. 2 hours were almost up, and Chen Xiang was the first one to open the pill furnace. When he opened the pill furnace, everyone looked and shook their heads. 2 pills. To actually be able to refine 2 of these pellets in such a compact. 1. Tian, it should be condensed into 1 and the quality should be raised. Furthermore, he is dark red in color, it is definitely not good. Yu Haorui laughed. Your standards are only mediocre. This time, Master W. A.N.G. has been harmed miserably by him. When Master W. A.N.G. first saw it, he slightly frowned, but after looking at it again, he felt that the 2 pills Chen Xiang refined were extremely reserved, and did not release any of his Dan Qi. Even the worst quality Dan would have a bit of Dan Qi, but there was none. It was very strange. I've also finished refining it. Elder Chen's disciple opened the pill furnace and immediately shot out a beautiful red light. The pill Qi was very dense and the fragrance of it wafted for 5 miles, causing one to be unable to help but exclaim in admiration. I don't think we need to test for quality anymore. Elder Chen chuckled. Elder W. A.N.G., please let me manage your treasured land for now. Chen Xiang suddenly said, I want to test. This way, I can be convinced of my defeat. Master W. A.N.G. nodded his head and took out his own equipment. This was a round disc, and was about the same as the equipment used to test the quality that Chen Xiang had seen before. Elder Chen placed his disciple's pill on the plate, immediately showing the high quality of over 30,000 pills. He is indeed worthy of being Elder Chen's disciple. This kind of quality is comparable to the masters of many shop. An old man praised, having such an outstanding disciple is really a happy occasion. Chen Xiang handed over a pellet to them, and everyone revealed a look of contempt. After all, the origin recovery pill in his hand was dim and dull, without any sort of pill Qi, as if it died, and this kind of pellet actually needed to be tested. It's hard to tell if your pill can produce a value. Yu Haorui taunted and laughed. Don't embarrass yourself anymore, don't you? C2802. C2802. If Chen Xiang had used the crash method to refine it in the past, he would definitely be very confident, because he was very clear on how high the quality of the pills refined by the crash method was. However, it was different this time. This was refined using heavenly alchemy Dao power. Even if it was of good quality, he was not sure if it could compare with the other party's pill. Chen Xiang nodded at Master W. A.N.G., who immediately placed the test disc in front of Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang then placed one of the pellet on top of the pellet. A number immediately appeared on the test disc. 27,000 quality. The Master W. A.N.G. looked at the numbers on the plate in disbelief. Even Chen Xiang himself was pleasantly surprised. The pills refined with the heavenly alchemy Dao power were actually of such high quality. Although the pellet that Elder Chen's disciple refined had a quality of more than 30,000, but it was only one pellet, and Chen Xiang had another 2. Chen Xiang also put in the other pellet, which was also of the same quality as the 27,000 pellets. Impossible! Elder Chen shouted anxiously, as he took out his own testing equipment and accepted Chen Xiang's restoration divine pill, testing it himself. The result of this test was exactly the same as the one from before. There wasn't the slightest deviation. Everyone was stunned. After all, the 2 pellets Chen Xiang had refined were of a higher quality than 30,000. There was no doubt that Chen Xiang had won. Yu Haorui was even more jealous as he said, there is definitely something wrong with this spirit-recovering pellet. There is no light and there is also no pill Qi. Chen Xiang said, then I invite Elder Chen to eat one and see if it has any medicinal effects. Elder Chen didn't believe it at the moment, so he immediately ate one pill. After feeling the effects of the pill, he frowned. Seeing Elder Chen frown, Yu Haorui sneered. I was right, although this pill has a quality value, it does not have any effect. Elder Chen shook his head. The effects of this pill are very strong. It's a far cry from the test results. It's only because you're surrounded by an external force that you're unable to release any of the pill Qi from within. That's why it was so low during the test. Master W. A.N.G. also ate one pill. His face was full of surprise, and he immediately looked at Chen Xiang. How did you refine it? This is a pill technique that I have learned before, using my unique rule Dao line S to refine it. My rule Dao line was born with this, Chen Xiang said. After my rule Dao line's power and flames fuse together, it can strengthen the flames and at the same time have a gathering characteristic. Chen Xiang spouted a bunch of nonsense. He felt that these people would not have any suspicions, after all, they were related to the rule Dao line that he was born with. It's no wonder that the strongest part of this pellet is that not even a trace of pellet qi has been leaked. Many pellets that have been refined will reveal a little bit of pellet qi, especially when they're refined. Master W.A.N.G. said, "This time, it's no doubt that you have one." The Master W.A.N.G. looked at Elder Chen, but Elder Chen shook his head and did not say much. He had admitted defeat now. He did not expect Chen Xiang to have such a strange power, and could only admit defeat. That's not fair. He has a natural rule Dao line. Seeing Chen Xiang win, Yu Haorui felt very uncomfortable in his heart. Even if you have the rule Dao line, without sufficient strength to use it, you would not be able to refine a pill of this quality. The Master W.A.N.G. said with a stern tone, "There are many people who are talented but do not work hard the day after tomorrow. They are ambitious and look down on everyone else." Yu Haorui immediately lowered his head and clenched his teeth. Master W.A.N.G. had been talking about him just now, and now he understood why Master W.A.N.G. did not want to accept him as a disciple. Master W.A.N.G. had obtained a supreme violet ginseng fruit, and he himself did not have much strength left. This made Elder Chen very unhappy, but he had no other choice. He was willing to admit defeat. The Master W.A.N.G. laughed as he sent this group of people away. Then, he planted the Overlord purple ginseng fruit, and Chen Xiang watched on from the side. "What's the use of this great master violet ginseng fruit?" Chen Xiang asked. "Seems like it's very precious. When Master Chen gave it to you, he was also very pained." He. Although this is a low-rank supreme divine medicine, as long as it's a supreme divine medicine, it's extremely precious. The Master W.A.N.G. said, "And the use of this violet ginseng fruit is beneficial to the cultivation of the later stages of 6G, ODS stage, and early stage of Tai Zun realm. It has no use to you now either." Master W.A.N.G. now knew that Chen Xiang had a very high innate talent in alchemy. He felt that if he were to refine the spirit-returning pill, it would definitely not be as high quality as the ones refined by Chen Xiang. Of course, he did not ask Chen Xiang about his pill technique. "Chen Xiang, I will help you ask about the 6G, ODS Guiyuan Dan's medicinal herbs in a few days. I know that you are currently anxiously stepping into the 6G, ODS stage." The Master W.A.N.G. said, because Chen Xiang had asked him about this before, and when he was sparring with others before, he was only at the 3 profound realm, but there was already a huge gap between them. A few days passed, and Master W.A.N.G. finished his own work. After he and Chen Xiang finished refining all of the sansu flowers into pills, he had more time to himself. Right now, he wanted to take Chen Xiang to a place where he could hold a pill refining conference. Chen Xiang had originally wanted to look for Lin Jitian and tell him about his current situation in Super Origin Dan Hall, but Lin Jitian had gone into closed-door cultivation. Helpless, he could only follow him out of Super Origin Dan Hall and head towards a place to partake. 1p. 8 in the Pellet A.S. Semli. When he went there, Master W.A.N.G. had also brought the few herbs needed to refine 6G, ODS Guiyuan Dan. If he could gather them at the convention, he would be able to immediately refine pills for Chen Xiang. Of course, the Master W.A.N.G. had also said that it was not guaranteed for Chen Xiang to break through, but at least it could help him take a step further. The Master W.A.N.G. had a flying channel, since he was an expert of the Tai Zun realm after all. He was riding on a flying divine tool right now, heading to the location of the convention. The flight divine equipment could only fly with the help of the Master W. A.N.G. The speed of the flight was also very fast, and Chun Xiang felt very comfortable sitting inside. Master W. A.N.G. What are the General A.S. Assembly usually held here? Chun Xiang asked. This grand meeting will always be attended by masters at your level, right? Yes, alchemists like us are all called Supreme Pill G. ODS. In this 1,000 layer, there are only 1 to 200 Supreme Pill G. ODS, so we are all very familiar with each other. Master W. N. G. nodded his head. The one in charge of hosting this convention is Heavenly Alchemy Divine Sect. This Heavenly Alchemy Divine Sect is a very mysterious sect. Chun Xiang had already heard from Lin Jitian that it was about the matters of the 4 great divine sects. He did not expect that they would meet the people from the Heavenly Alchemy Divine Sect so soon. Master W. A.N.G. What a coincidence! A golden light suddenly flashed from behind. They saw a middle-aged man riding on a flying divine tool and chasing after them, and there were a few other people on the flying disc. One of them was Yu Haorui. Third Hall Master, you are also going to partic. 1. P8 in the Heavenly Refining Auction, right? This middle-aged man was Yu Haorui's father, Yu Jinggong. He had just looked at Chun Xiang and knew that he knew about Chun Xiang's situation. C2803. C2803 Yu Jinggong was also a alchemist. Even though he could refine Taizuan Dan, he couldn't become a Supreme Pill God because a true Supreme Pill God needs to be acknowledged. However, Yu Jinggong's usual scheming and scheming skills were not bad, so he was able to become the 3rd Hall Master of the Super Origin Dan Hall. That's right. Yu Jinggong nodded with a smile. Right, the road ahead is more dangerous, it's better not to go over. Oh? I've walked this path twice, and I haven't encountered any danger. No. Just as the Master W. A.N.G. finished speaking, a cry came from the other side. It was a beast with flying Dao veins. When the cry came out, Master W. A.N.G.'s face slightly changed, before he anxiously controlled the flight divine tool to descend. As expected, this road is really dangerous. Although the Master W. A.N.G. had the cultivation of a sovereign, he had been refining pills all year round and his fighting experience could be said to be lacking. If not for the urgent situation, he would rarely take action. There is the supreme dragon beast ahead. It should be a dragon eagle. Its strength is pretty strong, but she just laid some dragon eagle eggs. Her body is currently very weak. Yu Jinggong said, "How about this, Master W. A.N.G. and I will go together and kill this dragon eagle and also get the dragon eagle egg. Master W. A.N.G. should know the value of the dragon eagle egg." Master W. A.N.G. thought for a moment, then said, "Then what about these juniors? They can do it here. Elderly is a late stage 6G. ODS stage, and my Rue Air is also an early stage 6G. OD, my 3 disciples are all mid-stage 6G. OD, their strength is still sufficient. With them here, nothing will happen," Yu Jinggong said. Hearing that, Chun Xiang felt that something was wrong. Yu Haorui hated him to the bones, and other than him, the rest of the people here belonged to Yu Jinggong, which was extremely disadvantageous to him. Master W. A.N.G. I'll go with you. Chun Xiang said. He did not want to stay. You don't have to worry, just wait here for me. Master W. A.N.G. looked at Yu Haorui and the others and said, Chun Xiang is only at the late stage of the 3 profound realm, don't bully him. If I find out, don't blame me for being rude. Chun Xiang did not know what value the dragon eagle egg had, to actually be valued so highly by the Master W. A.N.G., and so he followed Yu Jinggong just like that. Not long after they left, Chen Xiang sensed that the atmosphere wasn't right. "What do you want?" Just as Chen Xiang finished speaking and was preparing to teleport away, several white lights suddenly shot out from all directions. In an instant, his body and divine sense were attacked by the extremely numbing thunder power. This is the power of the Supreme Realm. Chen Xiang's entire body was in pain. The thunder power was also very intense. It directly struck his spirit of the Tao Gods, causing it to tremble, and was unable to send out any force. "Ha! A waste of late period of 3 profound realm, you want to struggle?" Yu Haorui fiercely stomped on Chen Xiang's abdomen, bringing a burst of flame energy into Chen Xiang, causing him to almost scream out loud. This Yu Haorui was in the early stages of 6 Gods stage, and his profound strength was not weak either. "Are you not afraid of the Master W? A.N.G.?" Chen Xiang shouted in anger. Whether he can come back or not is one thing." Yu Haorui laughed out loud. "Brat, your innate rule Dao line is pretty good. Also, you must have mastered some powerful pill techniques, and they are all mine now. Don't even think about getting it." Chen Xiang wanted to delay as much time as possible so that his spirit of the Tao Gods could stabilize. As long as he could send out a certain amount of Tao energy, he could teleport away. "Whether or not I can obtain it is not up to you to decide. It's up to me." Yu Haorui pinched Chen Xiang's throat. "I was very jealous of you before, but before long, that rule Dao line of yours will be mine." Suddenly, a gust of wind blew past, and a black-robed old man appeared. This old man had a dense thunder power on him. Chen Xiang was sure that he was injured by this man just now. After all, this man was an expert of the Tai Zun realm, and was not someone he could defeat now. "Uncle, can you really use the Pulse S.H.I. plus FTing technique?" Yu Haorui asked. "This guy seems pretty strong. The Tao power he released just now was extremely astonies. H.I. plus ing. That's right, so I use the thunder power to injure his spirit of the Tao Gods, and in that case, he will not be able to use Tao energy. If not, he would definitely be able to run away, and it would be difficult for us to catch him." The black-robed old man looked at Chen Xiang, and 2 beams of white light shot out from his eyes into Chen Xiang's. "Uncle, what are you doing?" Yu Haorui asked with great curiosity. "I want to give this guy a good beating. He doesn't look good to me." "We'll talk about it after we succeed in the Soul Search Meridian," the old man in black said. "If his body is too weak, it will affect the meridian transfer. I will first search his soul and see if I can activate his pill technique." Chen Xiang's spirit fox was in excruciating pain. The opponent wanted to break the defense of soul, but his spirit fox's defense was very strong. Even though the opponent was attacking him with lightning-fast power, it did not crumble. "This fellow, his soul defense is extremely strong." The old man in black robe was surprised. "It looks like it will take some time." Chen Xiang endured yelling, because he couldn't be distracted. He had to concentrate his spirit, and let his spirit of the Tao Gods recover. Only then would he be able to escape. If this continued, his soul might really be searched. "You bunch of bastards, Chen Xiang will definitely not let you off." Chen Xiang roared furiously in his heart. His still trembling spirit of the Tao Gods had already gradually stabilized. The defense of his soul was being broken bit by bit, and just as he was about to succeed, Chen Xiang's spirit of the Tao Gods used a burst of Tao energy to pass through Chen Xiang's spatial Tao vein. Chen Xiang immediately unleashed S.P. AC wind, allowing his body to move along with it. In the blink of an eye, he disappeared from where he stood. "What's going on?" Yu Haorui suddenly shouted. Why did he suddenly disappear? The black-robed old man's face was also filled with shock. He didn't know what was going on. This was because there were very few people here who knew how to use the power of SPAC, so he didn't think that the power of SPAC was involved. He actually ran away. Quickly go look around. The black-robed elder anxiously shouted. If he returns to the original Tao or something like that, it will definitely be very troublesome. The protective SHI plus ELD protecting his soul was not light at all. Although his body was struck by lightning, it wasn't much of a problem, because the thunder power was mainly used to attack his spirit of the Tao Gods. Right now, his spirit of the Tao Gods had stabilized, but there was still a little problem with it, and this would require some time to recover. We've finally escaped. I wonder how Master W. A.N.G. is doing now. Oh, I hope he's all right. Chen Xiang didn't think about anything at this moment. Closing his eyes could help him recover faster. After 3 days, he arrived on the ground after he had gone invisible. When he came out, he immediately saw Yu Jinggong and the black-robed old man. What about the Master W. A.N.G.? How is he now? It seemed that he had just met Yu Jinggong. He has already fallen into the dragon bone abyss. Yu Jinggong said. I almost suffered too. I didn't expect the dragon eagle to be so strong. That's right, where's Chen Xiang? Have you not succeeded yet? He ran away. The black-robed old man sighed. This guy possesses the heavenly alchemy Tao line. He's not an ordinary guy from the start. We have underestimated him. Chen Xiang clenched his fist tightly. Such a good Master W. A.N.G. like him had actually been killed. C-2804. C-2804. When Yu Jinggong heard that Chen Xiang had run away, he was immediately enraged. You bunch of useless brats, actually allowed a 3 profound realm brat to escape. Brother, listen to me. The black-robed elder quickly told Yu Jinggong everything that had happened. Looks like he's been injured quite badly. You all continue to look around separately. I will first return to the primal beginning pill gate and retrieve the divine medicine from the Master W. A.N.G. Afterwards, I will have someone come here to help me search for Chen Xiang. Yu Jinggong said. Master W. A.N.G. had already fallen into the dragon bone abyss. Whether he was dead or alive was unknown, but he had most likely died. Otherwise, Yu Jinggong would not be so calm, as killing a master was an extremely serious matter. Chen Xiang could see that Yu Jinggong was able to cover the sky with one hand inside the Super Origin Dan Hall. At that time, he would definitely be able to explain everything and no one would suspect that it was him. Therefore, Chen Xiang felt that no one would believe his words even if they were exposed. I can't let this guy take the Master W. A.N.G.'s divine medicine. I have to go back and take a look as well. Chen Xiang immediately used teleportation to return back to original Tao in front of Yu Jinggong. He had sneakily entered the original Tao's gate. Although the Master W. A.N.G.'s treasure land was protected by the array formation, he could still pass through if he used the White Tiger Leap. However, after entering, he found that all the ingredients had disappeared. What's going on? Someone beat you to it? Chen Xiang was surprised, but just as he was about to leave, he suddenly heard a voice by his ear. Is it Chen Xiang? This was actually a matter of the Master W. A.N.G. Chen Xiang was using invisibility now, but Master W. A.N.G. could sense him, shocking him yet again. It's me. Master W. A.N.G., how are you now? Chen Xiang was able to hear about the matters of the Master W. A.N.G., and his mood suddenly improved a lot. After all, the Master W. A.N.G. was very good to him. Sigh, my body has already been destroyed. Fortunately, I previously trained in the soul of the Supreme Being, so I placed it in the treasure land. Once my original body dies, my soul will be resurrected. Right now, I only have the soul of the Supreme Being left to the very weak ones. Master W. Ang said, "You are above? Are you dead too? I really never thought that you Jingong would be such a bastard. Chen Xiang felt that although the Master Ang was old and had a high cultivation, he was still too naive. He was actually deceived. Maybe it was because he had been cultivating in seclusion for a long time, so even though he was young, he had never seen it before. I did not die. I was captured by him, but I ran away. Chen Xiang revealed his true form and said, "I knew they were here to plunder your medicine. I quickly rushed over and planned to destroy this place and not let them have it. I don't have many ingredients here. They have all been taken into the divine sense sea of the Supreme Being's soul." Master Ang said, "It seems that my scheming is not as good as yours. You have always been on guard against them." Now, the Master Ang finally understood why Chen Xiang wanted to hunt the dragon eagle with him. Then, Master Ang, what do you plan to do now? Won't you pick them off? Chen Xiang said, "Even though I am a master, I have already died, so there is no value in it. Therefore, they will not get rid of you Jingong and the other brothers for my sake, since they are all overlords. They are also very strong in this super origin Dan Hall." Master Ang asked, "Do you have any containers on you that allow me to stay here? I need a stable and safe place." "Yes." Chen Xiang took out the 6 realms mirrors, and then a ball of white light floated over and entered the 6 realms mirrors. "Not bad, I can feel a very rich primitive Tao power from this. Your divine tool is pretty powerful." Master Ang laughed. "From now on, I will stay with you until I am able to cultivate my flesh. All right, I will definitely protect you well." Chen Xiang was still very respectful to the Master Ang. "Chen Xiang, your teacher told me, do you have a heavenly alchemy Dao line?" The Master Ang suddenly asked. "When you Jingong pushed me down the dragon bone abyss, he told me that you have the heavenly alchemy Dao line." "That's right." Chen Xiang admitted it. "What happened to the heavenly alchemy Dao line? Why is that guy so reckless?" Chen Xiang brought the Master Ang and quickly left the place. Sigh, it's hard to explain in a single sentence. If you are able to use the heavenly alchemy Dao line, you must have a heavenly alchemy art. These two are both extremely valuable things, and as long as you are an alchemist, no one would not want to have it. The Master Ang sighed. "From now on, you have to be careful and use the heavenly alchemy Dao line. The only people who know about my eternal heavenly alchemy Dao line are you Jingong and the others. They must definitely eliminate them." Chen Xiang said. "Otherwise, sooner or later, they will leak out everything." "Yes, but your current strength is insufficient. Dealing with the early stage of 6GODS stage is not a problem, but dealing with the late stage 6GODS stage would be extremely taxing, let alone the Taizun realm." The Master Ang said. The Taizun realm was indeed strong, so if Chen Xiang wanted to kill them, he could only rely on Lin Jitian. "Go to the Heavenly Refining Conference first. If you want to step into the 6GODS stage, then so be it. I have friends there that are worthy of your trust," the Master Ang said. "All right, I'll go now." Chen Xiang left the Super Origin Dan Hall, and quickly flew to the location where the Heavenly Refining Auction was held. The location of the event was in the middle of a lake. There was an island and a small village on top of it. Chen Xiang floated in the air. After seeing the island, he said to the Master Ang, "I found that island." He had flown for more than 10 days before arriving. "Now that you haven't entered the village with the jade plates, you have to think of something. Anyway, I can't show my face." Master Ang said, "I got it, I'll give you a pill. This is a low-rank Taizuan Dan. When the time comes, You can ask them if they can use this pill to exchange for the qualifications to partake. 1p8. Chen Xiang saw a golden pellet on the surface of the Six Realms mirrors, and asked, "What pellet is this?" The Supreme Six-Armed Dan, after eating it, can let a Tai Zun realm person have 6 arms. It can be considered a kind of miraculous pill. Master W.A.N.G. laughed. "Do you want to try? I still have 2 of these pills." "No need." Chen Xiang felt that it was very unnatural when he thought about how he had 6 arms. Holding this pill, he changed his appearance and arrived at the entrance to the village. At this time, he felt a familiar aura. Yu Jinggong's egg is here. The Master W.A.N.G. in the Six Realms mirrors also felt it. Chen Xiang calmed himself down, then turned his head to look, only to see Yu Jinggong bringing a few people over. After he revealed his jade tablet, the guards anxiously let them in. "We absolutely cannot let these fellows return to the Super Origin Dan Hall alive." When Chen Xiang saw them, his anger flared up, and after that, he chatted with the door guard. When the door guard found out that he was going to give him a Supreme Ocean 6-armed pellet, his face was filled with joy, and then let him in. C-2805. C-2805. Chen Xiang entered the village, and found an inn. The cost of accommodation there was extremely expensive, and could be said to be extremely outrageous. 1 myriad Tao crystal was required every day, and it was even a relatively inferior inn. Of course, those who were able to partake 1p8 in the heavenly refining auction would all have some face. Even if they felt like it, they wouldn't argue with others. This was a very humiliating matter, so they could only grit their teeth and endure. Chen Xiang was not as extravagant as the flower Tao crystal before, and it was not easy to fish Tao crystal here, so he would not stay in such an expensive inn. Thus, he found a civilian old man's home and gave that old man some Tao crystal. He could temporarily stay here for a period of time, which would allow him to save a lot of Tao crystal. Chen Xiang came here to get the 2 medicinal herbs that the 6G ODS Guiyuan Dan still lacked. He needed to quickly step into the 6G ODS stage and then enter the Myriad Tao Mausoleum. Lin Jitian had told him before that only those with the strength of 6G ODS stage or above could go. This was a chance, he did not want to miss it. Go and ask around first to see where there is a trade fair. Under these circumstances, many people don't sell the precious herbs in their hands and only trade them. When that happens, I'll give you some medicinal herbs so that you can go and exchange them. When the Master W.A.N.G. heard that Chen Xiang had settled down, he immediately transmitted his voice to Chen Xiang. After Chen Xiang asked around, he found out that there was a huge trade fair in the village and that it was being held every day during this period. 1. Ben. Read. The novel asked about the 2 herbs he lacked. Golden jade dew fruit and spirit-returning violet bamboo were both divine medicines of the heavenly Tao. They were not supreme divine medicines, and they were not of very high quality. However, they were rather rare, which was why they were so precious. After 2 days of inquiry, Chen Xiang finally got news of the spirit-returning violet bamboo. The seller was an old man, and did not come, but a friend of his was there, and told Chen Xiang that the old man would be here in 2 days. Chen Xiang waited for 2 days, and when he finally reached the old man, he made an appointment to meet him in a room in a hotel. Could it be that you plan on refining 6G ODS Guiyuan Dan? This old man was dressed in tattered clothes, but he had a pure pill aura around him. He was an expert in pill concocting, and his cultivation was also at the Tai Zun realm. And Chen Xiang nodded his head. I wonder if Senior will be able to you. Msisit? The old man could tell with one glance that Chen Xiang was only using the late period of 3 profound realm and was continuing with his 6G ODS Guiyuan Dan. Even though he couldn't break through for sure, he was still hope. I don't lack Tao crystals. Let's change them for ingredients. I only have one spirit-returning violet bamboo, so there's no use in keeping it." The old man thought for a moment and said, "If you have any decent medicinal ingredients, you can exchange them with me. If I'm satisfied with them, then it'll be fine." Master W.A.N.G. had already prepared several types of medicinal ingredients for Chen Xiang. These medicinal ingredients were all relatively rare and of great use. Unicorn fruit. Chen Xiang took out a fiery red fruit. This fruit was quite big, and Chen Xiang could only catch half of it with one hand. Moreover, there was a very stiff horn on it that looked like a qilin horn. At a glance, one could tell that it was a fire attribute medicinal ingredient. The qilin horn fruit is truly strange. I've heard of it a long time ago, but this is the first time I've seen it with my own eyes. This is a fire attribute medicinal herb with a wide range of uses. It is also a rare high-grade heavenly god medicinal pill. The old man held his breath and nodded. At this time, he was also considering whether or not he should exchange with Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang patiently waited. After a long while, he shook his head and said, "Although I want it, it's not the best choice for me. It's a pity. Senior, I still have other things." After Chen Xiang finished speaking, he took out another light green flower that was emitting a fluorescent light. This flower only had 2 petals, and it looked like a butterfly, and was extremely beautiful. Jade butterfly flower. When the old man saw this flower, he immediately sucked in a breath of cold air. "This is a supreme divine medicine. Are you sure you want to exchange with me? This is just a flower with a strong ornamental nature. Its main purpose is to refine the night illumination divine pill." Chen Xiang said, "In my opinion, it's far inferior to the qilin fruit from before." "Your words are wrong." The elder said, "Not only can this pill be used to refine the night illumination divine pill, it can also be used to concoct a type of detoxification divine pill. This sort of divine pill is extremely effective at detoxifying the evil poison. After consuming the night bright pellet, it would last for a period of time, allowing people to clearly see in the night, and in the distance they would be able to see even more clearly. As for the effects of the poison, Chen Xiang did not know, because the Master W.A.N.G. did not tell him, and what he had said just now was also what the Master W.A.N.G. had told him to say. Is that so? Then what do you think, Senior? Do you want to trade? Chen Xiang did not know much about the herbs here, so he decided to learn from Master W.A.N.G. in the future. Change. This elder was extremely fond of Yingdie's jade flower, and agreed readily to Chen Xiang's request. Chen Xiang received the spirit-returning violet bamboo, which shone with a purple light. It looked very beautiful. You have gathered all of the 6G ODS Guyuan Dan's ingredients? This old man probably knew the 6G ODS Guyuan Dan's pill formula, which was why he asked this question. There's still the golden jade dew fruit. Chen Xiang sighed. I wonder if we will be able to gather all of them this time. If Senior has any skills, help me out. I have been stuck in this 3 profound realm for a long time. Golden dew fruit. I happen to have a friend. Wait here, I'll go find him. The old man laughed and patted Chen Xiang's shoulders, because he felt that Chen Xiang was extremely lucky. He became extremely friendly to him. In that case, I will thank Senior first, Chen Xiang said while grinning. As the old man walked over, Chen Xiang was very happy. He ordered a table of dishes and started to wolf it down. Elder W.A.N.G., it's just as you said. As soon as that Senior saw the jade butterfly flower, he immediately agreed. Laughed, the Master W.A.N.G. had told him with absolute certainty that he would succeed in exchanging the jade butterfly flower. Of course. Even though I am not very knowledgeable, no one has more experience in exchanging medicinal ingredients than me. Master W.A.N.G. laughed. his spirit returning purple bamboo is a heavenly god medicinal herb, and Ingdai jade flower is a supreme divine medicine. There's a huge difference. Even though it's not a very wide use, it's still a supreme divine medicine. Some alchemists do not use medicinal herbs to refine pills, but to collect them. For example, Elder W.A.N.G. Is this how you are? Chen Xiang had stayed in the Master W.A.N.G. for a few days. There were a lot of strange medicinal ingredients. That's right. Master W.A.N.G. laughed. Alchemist has this kind of complex feelings more or less. He likes to collect some pretty and precious herbs. Very quickly, the old man arrived. The person he brought along was actually Yu Jinggong's big brother, the black-robed old man who wanted to search Qin Xiang's soul. Motherf *, it's actually this guy. Chen Xiang had already changed his appearance, and since the other party did not recognize him, he was naturally not too worried. However, he did not want to make a deal with him. C-2806. C-2806 Yu Jinggong's big brother was called Yu Jingming. Although he was Yu Jinggong's big brother, he was usually very afraid of his own brother, and was often ordered by his own little brother, and sometimes even loudly rebuked. However, Yu Jingming had never complained or been angry before. This kind of patience made many people feel that it was really scary. Access. This was what the Master W.A.N.G. had told Chen Xiang, but Chen Xiang himself had seen the real Yu Jingming before. When Yu Jingming searched through his memories, she looked exactly like a demon, so when Master W.A.N.G. talked about Yu Jingming's performance in Super Origin Dan Hall, Chen Xiang couldn't believe that such a berserk person could actually be so patient. The old man brought Yu Jingming here and quickly left, because in exchange for this, there would not be a third person present. This would only interfere with the decisions of others, and would not have a good impact. What are you planning to exchange for my jade dew fruit? Yu Jingming was also wearing a black robe at the moment. His old face did not have any expression, which made him look a little scary. Yu Jingming should be around the same age as his younger brother, but he looked so old. His younger brother was only middle-aged, and was also extremely handsome. Right at this moment, a plan formed in his mind, and then a short conversation was held with Master W.N.G. We'll talk about it after we get the gold jade fruit. Master W.A.N.G. said. Because he had suffered a loss once, he was now very cautious. Unicorn fruit. Chen Xiang took out another rare horn fruit. Not bad ingredients. Yu Jingming nodded his head. The gold jade dew fruit in his hand was not too precious. If it was taken out for auction, it would be far inferior to that many Dao crystal that could be sold by the Qilin fruit. The ornamental ability of the unicorn fruit was also very strong. A beautiful flame fruit had grown a Qilin horn. No matter how one looked at it, it was something very special. All right. After Yu Jingming thought about it for a while, he also agreed. Did not dare to act shamelessly here, otherwise, if the matter got out of hand, he himself would be in deep trouble, so he did not dare S.N. A.T.C. H. Chen Xiang's Qilin fruit. After Chen Xiang obtained the golden jade dew fruit, his heart was excited. He had finally gathered these ingredients, and he would be able to refine the 6G ODS Guiyuan Dan very soon. Elder Yu, after so many years, you should have had enough of your brother. After Chen Xiang obtained the gold jade dew fruit, he suddenly said this. At the same time, he also finished his defense, used the Chuang's HI plus God furnace to protect his own spirit of the Dao Gods, and placed a 6 realms mirrors outside the Chuang's HI plus God furnace to release the power of the shot. Previously, when he was struck by the spirit of the Dao Gods, he was unable to use his Dao energy and almost suffered a calamity, So this time he became extremely cautious and knew that he had to protect the spirit of the Tao Gods well. You. How do you know who I am? You recognize me? Yu Jingming didn't think that the person in front of him was related to Chen Xiang. I'm Chen Xiang, of course I know. Chen Xiang smiled and changed back to his original appearance. You. When Yu Jingming saw Chen Xiang, he immediately wanted to take him down. There's a heavenly refining conference going on here. Do you want to die? Chen Xiang chuckled, then sat down and said, Eat, eat, eat. What are you trying to do? Yu Jingming's voice was ice cold. You also took away the medicinal ingredients in the Master Wang's treasure trove. When Yu Jingming thought of this, he felt extremely uncomfortable in his heart. No, the Master Wang did it himself. The Master Wang did not die, he still has a doppelganger. Chen Xiang said, You guys really want to underestimate Master Wang too much. After all, Master Wang is the supreme pill God. How can he die so easily? Yu Jingming's heart trembled. The Master Wang was still alive. He was very clear about the influence of the Master Wang. What are you afraid of? Chen Xiang saw that Yu Jingming was sweating profusely and laughed. It's not like you are the one who is going to attack Master Wang. It's your brother Yu Jinggong, right? Yu Jingming thought about this and heaved a sigh of relief. Although he knew about this, he was not the one who did it, and even if they started to investigate, the consequences would not be too severe. Look at you with such potential, it's no wonder that your own younger brother would play with you. Don't think that it will be fine just like that. Your little brother will definitely push all of this away and blame it on you. It was very obvious that Chen Xiang was trying to sow discord between the two brothers. Yu Jingming could also tell, but he had no doubts at all about Chen Xiang's words. He was very clear about what kind of person his little brother was. I know, when you attacked me, it was all because of your little brother's idea. He wanted to let my precious son obtain my heavenly alchemy Tao line and cultivate my alchemy skills. Even if you succeed, you won't get any benefits, so I don't blame you. Chen Xiang said while eating, and looked like he was not on guard at all. Yu Jingming thought for a moment, then sat down, rolled up his sleeves, and saw that there was a white centipede wrapped around his wrist, like a bracelet. What is this? Chen Xiang frowned. This is the white jade centipede from Myriad Tao Mausoleum. I have poison in my body. I need this white jade centipede to help me take drugs, in order for me to live, otherwise I'll be dead, and in order for the white jade centipede to be willing to absorb the poison from my body, I need to eat a pill. And those pills were all concocted by my little brother. Only he has the medicinal formula, and only he can concoct them. Hearing Yu Jingming's words, Chen Xiang finally understood him. So that's how it is. Chen Xiang said, Looks like if I kill your brother, you won't agree, right? Of course, killing him is equivalent to killing me. Besides, how could he be so easy to kill? He is the third hall master of the Super Origin Dan Hall after all, and is even daring to kill the Master Wang, so he won't be that easy to deal with. Yu Jingming said, In the end, you left the original Tao Gate. The reason why he is able to do such a thing in the Super Origin Dan Hall is also because there are people within the original Tao. If I can cure you of the poison, are you willing to help me get rid of Yu Jinggong? Furthermore, you have to guarantee that you won't let anyone else know about my possession of the Heavenly Alchemy Tao line. Chen Xiang said. This Yu Jingming had a lot of uses. He definitely could not let him go. And Yu Jinggong was currently partic. 1. P. Aiding in the Heavenly Refining Conference. If he revealed that he had the Heavenly Alchemy Tao line here, the consequences would be dire. You really can? Yu Jingming's body trembled. He had a very deep understanding of the poison in his body. He had tried many different ways to cure it, but none of them worked. I can give it a try. Chen Xiang couldn't guarantee anything now. I've cured quite a few poisons before, I'm a bit confident now. However, I need to know. After I cure you of the poison, I will be able to obtain the benefits above. C2807. C2807. If the poison in Yu Jingming's body was cured, he would no longer need the white jade centipede to help him suppress the poison in his body, and he would no longer need to be manipulated by his detestable younger brother. In the future, he would be free to do anything he wanted. Access. If you can successfully cure my poison, I promise you, I will definitely do my best to help you kill Yu Jinggong. Yu Jingming had had enough of his own brother. Even if Chen Xiang had not said it, once his poison was detoxified, he would go and kill Yu Jinggong. Good. However, we need to get a blood contract. I am still a little worried about you, since you almost destroyed me. Chen Xiang smiled and said, I still need you to help me with some things in the future. Of course, I will give you some benefits. I can, but you can't threaten me like how despicable Yu Jinggong is. Yu Jingming said. Chen Xiang nodded, and then signed a contract with Yu Jingming. Can you force the poison out of his body? Just force it out a little bit. Chen Xiang said. I can't force it at all. The poison is fused with my soul, and cannot be separated from my body. When the poison reaches a certain point, I'll be in extreme pain, and only when the white jade centipede absorbs part of the poison will I feel much better. When Yu Jingming talked about this matter, his face was filled with pain. How did you get infected with this poison? Chen Xiang asked. This was a rather THORN-Y poison he had encountered. Fortunately, Yu Jinggong had just captured the white jade centipede and helped me suppress the poison. Yu Jinggong did not refine pills normally, but in terms of using poison, he was very strong. Yu Jingming said, Of course, I suspect that this poison was created by him. Because I have asked many people who entered the Myriad Tao Mausoleum about this, and no one has ever encountered this poison. Alright, relax your body now. I'll see if I can see what poison it is. Chen Xiang's fingertip pressed onto the location of Yu Jingming's heart, then he used the Dao Heart Eye to carefully examine it. Before long, he saw Yu Jingming's entire body was wrapped in a grayish color. After he saw it, he immediately used his spiritual sense to lock onto it, and then activated the devouring magic Kung Fu. Just like what Yu Jingming said, it was extremely difficult to absorb. He had spent a lot of effort to only absorb a little. However, this also caused Yu Jingming to be shocked, because he had used many methods previously and could not absorb even a little bit, but Chen Xiang was able to do it, which immediately filled him with hope. You. Be careful, if you get infected by this poison yourself, you'll have to commit suicide. Yu Jingming said. Don't worry, if I had been hit by this poison, I would have fallen for it a long time ago. Chen Xiang was sure that this poison had no effect on him at all. Then, he released the creation flame, and added in the heavenly alchemy Dao power. However, he burned that gray mist, and not long after, that gray mist was burned away. Is there a way? When Yu Jingming saw that Chen Xiang could even burn that poison mist, he was overjoyed. I can't be sure. If your soul also has one, then I will need to use fire to burn your soul and body, and completely burn the poison. At that time, it will definitely cause you a lot of pain. Chen Xiang said, Can you endure it? I can endure it. Yu Jingming saw hope from Chen Xiang and said while clenching his teeth, as long as he could get rid of Yu Jinggong's control, he could endure any amount of pain. Alright, I'll start now. Chen Xiang took a deep breath. Yu Jingming nodded and closed his eyes. Chen Xiang began to release flames, controlling the flames to enter Yu Jingming's body and Divine Sense C's body. After that, he began to burn them little by little, which would take a very long time, because Yu Jingming's poison was very strong. Yu Jingming was really able to endure it. Although it was painful, he did not scream out. After 3 days and 3 nights, The white jade centipede that was coiled around Yu Jingming's wrist had fallen down. The white jade centipede had left Yu Jingming's arm, which meant that Yu Jingming's body no longer had that poison. It's a success, it's a success. Yu Jingming looked at the white jade centipede in the jade box and constantly recited the words in his mouth. Even he himself found it hard to believe. I see. Chen Xiang looked at the white jade centipede and sneered. That kind of strange poison is coming from this white jade centipede. Your poison shouldn't be very serious, but Yu Jingong tricked you and made you get bitten by the white jade centipede. Then, let the poison grow stronger in your body and then absorb it. This way, the white jade centipede will grow non-stop. However, the pellet Yu Jingong gave you has a power that can suppress the white jade centipede's growth. So the white jade centipede has been like this for many years. Chen Xiang said, Yu Jingong tricked you so much that you were poisoned. Not only did he not say anything about it, he even purposely concealed a lot of things. This bastard, I must kill him. Yu Jingming shouted in anger. If we don't rush to kill him and just let him die, that would be letting him off easy. Chen Xiang sneered, then used a transformation technique to conjure a white jade centipede out of thin air and hid it on Yu Jingming's wrist. You stay by his side, we'll work together to kill him bit by bit. Of course, we have to start from his son, that bastard Harue. Alright, I'll listen to you. Yu Jingming had already signed a contract with Chen Xiang earlier on, and now that the remaining people were helping him cure the poison, coupled with the fact that they had a common enemy, they would definitely cooperate. Chen Xiang took out a piece of jade tablet and handed it over to Yu Jingming. This is the communication jade pendant. Hang it around your waist. If you have any important matters, contact me. Just channel your divine power into the jade pendant. The spatial power that Chen Xiang cultivated was able to create a spatial communication treasure. It was something that was not here. How amazing! Yu Jingming tried it, and he was very surprised. Alright, you should head back now, Chen Xiang said. He had been very tired this entire day. After Yu Jingming left, the Master W.A.N.G. hastily sent a sound transmission to Chen Xiang. Kid, you are truly amazing. I can't do anything about that poison, but you have a way. Seems like you have pretty good control of the heavenly alchemy Dao power. Not bad. Looks like this Yu Jingong is not an ordinary guy, he's not easy to deal with. Chen Xiang said, Master W.N.G., I have already gathered the remaining 2 materials, the 6G. Ods Guyuan Dan should not be difficult to refine, right? It isn't difficult. I'll tell you about the forging process now. Of course, if you had the heavenly alchemy Dao power, it would be even easier. When you step into 6G ODS stage, it will be time to get your hands on Taizuan Dan. Master W.A.N.G. chuckled and said, in time you will definitely surpass me. C2808. C2808 Master W.A.N.G. had a greater understanding of Chen Xiang now. He knew that Chen Xiang was not ordinary already, otherwise he would not have been able to grow those medicinal herbs. Chen Xiang listened attentively as Master W.A.N.G. explained the refining process of the 6G ODS Guyuan Dan. He remembered every detail that he had to pay attention to. Are we going to refine it now? Master W.A.N.G. couldn't see anything inside the 6 realms mirrors, but he could guess that Chen Xiang was about to make a move and start concocting pills immediately. That's right, we are going to start refining now. I can't wait to step into 6G ODS stage. Chen Xiang said as he took out those medicinal ingredients. The 5 elements Gyokuro fruit and the spirit-returning violet bamboo were both very beautiful. Once these medicinal ingredients have been refined, there will be no more. The Master W.A.N.G. said, I think you should think of a way to grow another seed. It won't take long. I've already got a copy. Chun Xiang had done this a long time ago. He had the Creator's well and the purple pearls condensed from the alive slain method, so it was extremely easy for him. So fast. Master W.A.N.G. did not believe it because it was too fast. He had cultivated medicinal herbs for many years, and knew that it was not that easy. I have a special Tao meridian that allows plants to grow and reproduce faster. Chun Xiang said the Tao vein did exist, and Jiang Sijing possessed this kind of Tao vein. Could it be that this is an Earth Tao meridian? This is a very good Tao meridian. It's very good for growing medicinal plants. Master W.A.N. Ji knew that Chun Xiang had such a Tao vein before, but she never thought that it would be the Earth Tao vein. Chun Xiang took out the Chuang's Hi plus God furnace. He found out from the Master W.A.N.G. how to refine it and felt that it wasn't difficult. I have the Heavenly Alchemy Tao line, so refining it would be even easier. Until now, Chun Xiang had never encountered any difficulty in learning to refine new pellet. The Heavenly Alchemy Tao line allowed his refining process to be even more smooth, and he was not sure if he could continue refining higher-level pills in the future. In just more than 2 hours, Chun Xiang had refined a 6GODS Guiyuan Dan. He was able to refine 2 pellets, and Master W.A.N.G. said that he could refine 3 pellet. Not bad. To be able to successfully refine 2 pellets on his first try is already quite outstanding. The Master W.A.N.G. praised. Although there are 2 pills, it doesn't necessarily mean that you will be able to help him break through to 6GODS stage. You can eat these 2 pills first. At that time, you can get a rough understanding of the situation. Elder W.A.N.G. I do not know anything about 6GODS stage. I hope that you can give me some pointers. Chun Xiang said. He had never understood what the 6GODS stage needed to cultivate. When the late period of 3 profound realm is in use, the 3 profound divine junctures S will become 1, but they will not become 1. However, after the 3 profound divine junctures S have become 1, the 6GODS will appear within the spirit of the Tao GODS, and there are only 6 primordial spirits within. These 6 primordial spirits are extremely important, and the growth of the primordial spirit can cause the spirit of the Tao GODS to transform. When the 6 Yuan God reaches a certain point, the spirit of the Tao GODS will evolve on its own, and at that time, you will be able to step into the Tai Zun realm. But that is a matter of the future. The main thing for you to do now is to eat the 6GODS Guiyuan Dan and let the 3 profound divine junctures completely fuse with it, nurturing the 6 Yuan God. I understand. Chun Xiang immediately ate the 2 6GODS Guiyuan Dan. This was only his first time refining one. If the effects were not enough, he would use the crash method to improve his quality during the next time he refined. After consuming it, Chun Xiang gradually refined the 6GODS Guiyuan Dan's medicinal power, because it was not refined from the crash method, and it did not have a spirit God, so the refining time was rather long and took a total of 3 days. It didn't succeed, but I can feel that under the stimulation of the medicinal power, the 3 profound divine junctures showed signs of fusing. Seems like the medicinal power isn't strong enough. Chun Xiang took out another batch of ingredients and quickly used the Heavenly Alchemy Tao line to refine them. This time he was going to start using the crash method. Chun Xiang did not know how high the final quality would be, because he had not tried it yet. It's not that the medicinal strength is insufficient just now, but it's just that the medicinal strength is not sufficient to advance, and is unable to push my 3 profound GODS to merge together. If I were to use the crash method to refine a 6GODS Guiyuan Dan, I would definitely be able to propel the medicinal strength sufficiently strong. Chun Xiang felt that he would enter the 6GODS stage very quickly, and he was almost there. The higher the initial quality of the medicinal ingredients, the more difficult it would be to refine when class HI plus ing with them. The pills Chen Xiang refined using the heavenly alchemy Tao power were of extremely high quality. Currently, he could only advance to the 6-S, and that was the limit he could endure. One must know that he was a late period of 3 profound realm cultivator right now, but he could only go so far when refining 6GODS Guyuan Dan. It also took Chen Xiang an entire day to concoct a pill under such extreme conditions, causing him to feel extremely tired. I should be able to break through this time. Chen Xiang planned to rest first and recover his energy before eating this high-quality 6G ODS Guyuan Dan. While he was resting, one of his jade talismans suddenly vibrated. He quickly took it out and checked it. Yu Jingming had sent a message to him. Chen Xiang, I just received 2 important pieces of news. The first piece of information is related to Yu Jinggong. Yu Jinggong has a gold pag. Oh, the Ganoderma in his hands and this gold pag. Oh, the Ganoderma looks like a pag. Oh, the shaped lingji that is 9 stories tall. It is very common, and its main purpose is to cure the voodoo dead poison in the Myriad Tao Mausoleum. The witch death poison is a very deadly poison in the Myriad Tao Mausoleum. Even if it's the late period of Tai Zun realms, just by smelling a little, one would be tortured to death by this poison. If it's a mid or early stage Tai Zun realms poison, one would be killed in a short period of time. Therefore, this gold pag. Oh, the Ganoderma is extremely precious. If Yu Jinggong wants to auction it now, the final price he can get is probably around 20 billion. The second piece of news is related to this heavenly refining auction. The purpose of this event is to prepare to enter the Myriad Tao Mausoleum. At this moment, many great powers pill masters are gathered here to exchange their pills in preparation for entering the Myriad Tao Mausoleum. When the time comes, the winner will receive the Heavenly Alchemy Divine Sex reward, and only the 6GODS stage will be able to partake. 1P8 in this compet. 1. Tie-in to encourage the young alchemist. The heavenly alchemy soul is the soul of the heavenly refining divine cauldron that has been growing in the heavenly alchemy divine sect for a period of time, and it is able to release the powerful and mysterious special heavenly alchemy immortal power. I do not know much about the specifics, so it is very precious. Chen Xiang received a whole bunch of important information in an instant. This was all very important news. Master W. ANG, what use does the heavenly alchemy soul have? Chen Xiang hurriedly asked the Master W. ANG, and told him that the heavenly alchemy divine sect took the heavenly alchemy soul as a reward. C2809. C2809. Read the domain name of this site online in plain text. When Master W. ANG heard the words heavenly alchemy soul, he immediately cried out, I never thought that the heavenly alchemy divine sect would have such a situation. Master W. ANG exclaimed, I don't know much about heavenly alchemy soul, I only know that it can release something called a heavenly alchemy immortal power, and it's very strong. As long as one obtained the spirit of dawn, they could merge it into a divine weapon, and that divine weapon would have the heavenly alchemy immortal power. Access. What do you mean by that? Yu Yang asked. Chen Xiang was still in the 3 profound realm now, but he was confident that he could enter the 6GODS stage in a short amount of time. Every so often, the heavenly alchemy divine sex, heavenly refining divine cauldron will give birth to the soul of this dawn. However, the breaking dawn soul had its own master. If it did not meet the criteria set by the breaking dawn soul, then the breaking dawn soul would not be able to fuse with it. Therefore, whenever there is a situation like this, heavenly alchemy divine sect will hold a compet. 1. Tie-in and allow the spirit of dawn to watch the compet. 1. Tie-in on the spot. The winner will receive the approval of the Spirit of Dawn. At that time, Heavenly Alchemy Divine Sect's own disciple will also partake. 1p8. Maybe all the other divine sects will come, and those divine sects should be the most clear about the power of the Spirit of Dawn. Chen Xiang immediately called Yu Jingming and asked him when he would partake. 1p8 in the compet. 1 Tian. From today onwards there are still 7 days. When we register to partake 1p8, we will need to test the strength of the 6G ODS stage S on the spot. After registering, one must refine a total of 30,000 natural law Dan in 2 hours. Only then can one obtain the qualifications to enter the compet. 1 Tian. There were still 7 days, so Chen Xiang was not in a rush. What about the auction? When will it start? Chen Xiang was extremely interested in Yu Jinggong's gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma, as it was something that could help him enter the Myriad Tau Mausoleum. He didn't know whether he could suppress the death poison either, so he got the gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma to defend himself. 5 days later. Yu Jingming quickly replied. All right, I'll go check out the auction when the time comes. Chen Xiang calmed his mood and then ate that pellet of pill 6G. ODS Guyuan Dan. Although the quality of the pills refined with Crash S were high, and the medicinal power contained within was strong, but after consuming them, their speed of refinement was not slow. Chen Xiang felt that they were much faster than the pills he refined before. I must succeed. I must partake. 1p8 in that compet. 1 Tian. Chen Xiang closed his eyes and chanted in his heart. At this time, the medicinal power had already surged into his spirit of the Tao Gods. After the 3 profound Gods felt the medicinal power, they gradually shrank and fused together. The 6G ODS Guyuan Dan continued to release its medicinal power in a steady stream while refining itself and pouring it into the spirit of the Tao Gods. It continued to produce a strong medicinal power that pushed the 3 profound divine junctures in the spirit of the Tao Gods to fuse with it. We're going to succeed, let's continue. Chen Xiang saw that the fusion speed of the 3 profound divine junctures had already started to slow down. If he could not succeed in one go, then the 3 profound divine junctures would return to how it was before. Fortunately, the 6G ODS Guyuan Dan, he refined, had a very strong medicinal power. Even though there was only a tiny bit of the remaining medicinal power, it was able to successfully fuse 3 profound divine junctures together and condense 6 primordial spirits. The 6 primal souls were extremely special as they floated in the 3 profound divine junctures like 6B, AL, L, S of flame. Inside the golden spirit of the Tao Gods was a big ball of white light, and inside the big ball of white light, there were 6 bright flames that were floating back and forth. After he succeeded, Chen Xiang opened his eyes, clenched his fists and released a burst of power from the spirit of the Tao Gods. In the blink of an eye, powerful Tao energy surged out. He's more than 10 times stronger than before. Both the spirit of the Tao Gods and the 3 profound divine junctures are now very powerful. Chen Xiang felt the powerful strength he had just obtained, and his heart surged. Yu Haorui, you definitely can't let me meet you. Otherwise, the only thing you can do is die. Chen Xiang remembered back then when Yu Haorui had kicked him viciously, she wanted to obtain his heavenly alchemy Tao line. After breaking through, although Chen Xiang was elated, there were still a lot of things he needed to do, and they were rather risky. Yu Jinggong's gold pag. Oh, the Ganoderma were very precious, and he couldn't just buy them. That would require more than 20 billion Tao crystal, and he didn't have the time to gather that many Tao crystal right now. Therefore, he could only use methods. The gold pag. Oh. The Ganoderma was Yu Jinggong's, so he was not worried at all. At that time, if he had the chance, he would immediately make his move. Yu Jingming, Did you get me the right to enter the auction? Chen Xiang whispered to Yu Jingming. I got it, I'll send it to you now. Yu Jingming immediately headed towards Chen Xiang's residence. Chen Xiang was staying at a few villagers' homes, which was a relatively safe and quiet place. Yu Jingming snuck over quietly and entered Chen Xiang's room, giving him a jade token. This is the jade token to enter the auction place. Yu Jingming said. Did Yu Jinggong suspect you? You better be careful, this guy is so vicious to his own little brother. If he discovers you, you might be killed. Chen Xiang said. Don't worry about that, I will pay close attention. He won't notice anything, and right now he doesn't have any suspicions towards me, so this is an extremely important period for him. Because he wants to obtain the heavenly alchemy soul, he needs to gather a large amount of Dao crystal and hire a decent level of alchemist to partake. 1 P8 in the compet. 1 Tian. Yu Jingming said. Where is the gold pag? Oh, de Ganoderma now? Chen Xiang had to understand the situation. It's still on Yu Jinggong's body. He only took it out that day when it was his turn to take action. After all, these things are so precious, so he can't be at ease being kept by others. Yu Jingming said. All right, you can go back now. Chen Xiang frowned. This way, he wouldn't need to get the gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma. These few days, Chen Xiang had been observing everything inside and outside the auction venue, trying to figure out how to steal the gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma when he sees it. He also signed up for the pill forging compet. 1 Tian, and he even used his own name right away. If he did not use his real name, and Yu Jinggong exposed him, it would be troublesome. He was not afraid of Yu Jinggong here. The people from the Heavenly Alchemy Divine sect must also have Heavenly Alchemy Dao line. If I had the Heavenly Alchemy Dao line, there shouldn't be anything strange about it. Although Chen Xiang thought this, he was still a little worried that his possession of the Heavenly Alchemy Dao line would be exposed. Today the auction started. After Chen Xiang used his transformation technique to turn into a small old man, he slowly walked into the auction place. After entering, he immediately used the transmission talisman to contact Yu Jingming. He found out that he was currently in the same room as Yu Jinggong, and couldn't see him from the outside. We'll bring the gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma up to the stage later. It's mainly because Yu Jinggong wishes for his son to have some face. Yu Jingming sent a message to Chen Xiang. C2810. C2810 Read the domain name of this site online in plain text. When Chen Xiang heard this news, his heart was moved. This was a golden opportunity. When Yu Haruei took the gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma up on stage with Yu Haruei's strength, he would not be able to defend against him. Furthermore, he would be using his fastest speed. More recent chapter access. This must succeed. Chen Xiang was starting to get a little excited. He tried his best to calm down and waited patiently for the moment the gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma appeared. At this time, the Heavenly Refining Conference was being held, and most of the people here were from alchemists, so most of the people auctioned off pills. The Taizuandan S were also being auctioned. Although they were only middle-tier Taizuandan S, they could be sold for more than $1 billion. The Taizuandan that are auctioned off at this kind of auction are all of lower quality. Alchemists that are able to refine one of these are all more ordinary. Master W. A.N. G disdainfully said when he heard from Chen Xiang that someone was selling mid-rank Taizuandan. The quality is indeed very ordinary, but to be able to refine a middle-tier Taizuandan is already quite good. Chen Xiang said the Taizuandan S were relatively hard to refine. Master W. A.N. G had mentioned it before. Indeed. If we can constantly refine high-quality Taizuandan S, then we will be like Supreme Dan G. ODS, not poor to the point of selling pellet. The Master W. A.N.G. said. The reason why the alchemist was poor was only because of the purchase of medicinal ingredient. The higher-ranked alchemist, in particular, required an Astonis, Hi plus ing number of Dao crystal to purchase medicinal ingredient. More than 2 hours later, the last pill was also ready. The gold pag. The Ganoderma was actually the main attraction of this auction. It could be seen how famous the gold pag. The Ganoderma was. Many people came today to wait for the gold pag. The Ganoderma. I think everyone should know about the gold pag. The Ganoderma too. This is something that the 3 hall masters of the Super Origin Dan Hall, Yu Jinggong, have brought out for auction in the original Tao's Gate. The host said. At this time, Yu Haorui slowly walked out from the side. He was alone as he walked towards the auction stage with the gold-colored small pag. In his hands. This gold pag. The Ganoderma seemed to have 9 pieces of lingji stacked together. It also looked like a tower, glowing with a golden light. The host is in the late stage of 6G, ODS stage, but there is an early stage Tai Zun realm in front of the auction stage. But it doesn't matter, I will definitely succeed. Chen Xiang had already taken out 3 small pellet. The name of this pill was the Illusory Mist Pill. It was a middle-tier Taizuan Dan. Many Supreme Dan Gods knew how to refine it, but the ingredients required were relatively rare, thus this pill was also relatively rare. However, Master W. A.N.G. had the ingredients to refine the Illusory Mist Pills. When he previously knew that Chen Xiang was going to SN. ATC. Hu Jinggong's gold pag. De Ganoderma. He gave the Illusory Mist Pills like the one Chen Xiang gave to Chen Xiang to use his spatial power. He threw the 3 Illusory Mist Pills at 3 places in the auction center and then controlled the explosion of the 3 pills. Yu Haorui originally wanted to show off, so he deliberately walked very slowly, allowing the other disciples to see him carrying this gold pag. De Ganoderma. However, just as Yu Haorui was feeling complacent, a burst of white light suddenly flashed, and then the inside of the auction was full of forests. There were even the howls of dragon beast, and from time to time, a thick mist would roll over. It's the Misty Mirage Pill. An old man shouted, and the moment Chen Xiang exploded, he had already teleported in front of Yu Haorui, using his fastest speed to transfer the gold pag. De Ganoderma over to him. Yu Haorui's reaction speed could be considered to be extremely fast. Seeing that such a thing had suddenly happened, he immediately kept the gold pag. De Ganoderma inside. It was just that Chen Xiang's reaction speed was too fast. He did not realize that Chen Xiang had used a fake gold pag. De Ganoderma. The medicinal power of the Illusory Mist Pill quickly dissipated, and the scene returned to normal. No one knew what happened, as everyone was trapped in their own illusions. At that time, everyone was on their own, so they couldn't see anything. Even the old man in the early stages of the Tai Zun realm was trapped in an illusion. However, because there were too many people here, all the medicinal energy was absorbed by the crowd and dispersed. Therefore, everyone's hallucinations did not last long, and it only lasted for a few seconds. But this allowed Chen Xiang to succeed, and also quietly left the auction place, leaving behind a clone inside. If not, he would suddenly be missing a person, which would arouse suspicion, and at that time, when he checked the jade plates or something, he would expose Yu Jingming. Rui where are the gold pag? De Ganoderma? Yu Jinggong anxiously walked over and asked anxiously. I have it. Yu Haorui anxiously took out his gold pag. De Ganoderma. After seeing the gold pag. De Ganoderma, Yu Jinggong heaved a sigh of relief, but he felt that something was amiss. He had possessed the gold pag. De Ganoderma for a long time and was very familiar with it. However, he was not familiar with the gold pag. De Ganoderma in front of him, especially the aura. Father, what's wrong? Yu Haorui immediately asked. He also felt that he was extremely clever and kept the gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma after encountering a sudden situation. Follow me. Yu Jingong anxiously brought Yu Haorui and left, while the people in charge of the auction also followed along, as they realized that something was amiss. This kind of auction was very large, but there were people causing trouble here in an attempt to snatch the gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma. At this moment, everyone was discussing this matter. Are you selling the gold pag? Oh, de Ganoderma? A man shouted impatiently. That's right, we came here today to buy gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma. What happened just now? Who lost the illusory mist pill? The crowd was filled with doubts. Chen Xiang was currently in his room, lying on his bed, looking at the gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma in the Yu Yao Mountain Villa, he chuckled. At the backstage of the auction venue, Yu Jingong angrily said, What's going on in this venue? To actually let this kind of thing happen, this gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma is fake. Yu Jingong crushed the fake gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma with a palm. The fake gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma turned into mist. This gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma was obviously taken away by your son. We even saw him take it out of the storage magic treasure. What does this have to do with us? We are still suspecting that you were the one who released the illusory mist pill. Do you really want to frame us? The old man, who was holding the auction, sneered. Yu Jingong couldn't explain it now either. After all, his son had just said that the gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma had been taken into the storage magic treasure's grasp, and from start to finish, the gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma had been in his son's hands. The moment the fog pill appeared, it was also kept by his son. He couldn't blame the auction house for this. Someone used a very clever method. The moment the misty mirage pill appeared, they switched the gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma in my son's hands. The speed was very fast, so my son did not feel it either. I am the hall master of the Super Origin Dan Hall. Why would I do such a thing to scam you? Yu Jingong calmed down and thought carefully about it. He felt that this was the only possibility. C2811. C2811 Yu Jingming looked at the furious Yu Jingong, feeling extremely happy in his heart, only he knew that Chen Xiang had done it. At this moment, he was even more impressed with Chen Xiang's methods, to actually be able to do it in that situation. At this moment there is not a single person missing outside. They were told not to leave this place, and all of them have been investigated thoroughly. The person who stole the gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma must still be outside. Yu Jingong said. He was the one who had lost, and the people at the auction would definitely not be responsible for the compensation. You should be aware that many of the people who are partic 1p aiding in this auction are from solid background. I cannot keep them here. If you are able to do so, then go ahead and attend the auction. The people at the auction house thought that they were not at fault, which made Yu Jingong very angry. You all. It was all in vain that I trusted you all so much, and yet you all want to SHI+RK your responsibilities. Yu Jingong shouted in anger. Humph, if someone is really stealing your gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma from us, we will definitely try our hardest to catch him, but no matter how you look at it now, it seems like you are all putting on an act and trying to trick us. If you have evidence to prove who attacked us, we will definitely do our best to capture that person. The auctioneer said. When Yu Jingong heard this, he was so angry that the corner of his brows trembled, and he snorted, Let's go. After Chen Xiang succeeded, he left the auction far, far away. Furthermore, he had already planted the gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma, and it wouldn't be long before the gold pag. Oh, de Ganoderma would reproduce. Master W. ANG, have you ever entered the Myriad Tao Mausoleum? Chen Xiang asked. I think Yu Jingong went in there before, he probably got a lot of good stuff from there. The Myriad Tao Mausoleum is very dangerous. Although anyone can enter, the chances of survival are very small. Of course, if we can pass through the Flying Dragon experience place, then it would be even safer to enter the Myriad Tao Mausoleum. Master W.N.G. said, however, the Flying Dragon experience place is controlled by the Flying Dragon Palace, and if we do not enter, even if we are able to, without sufficient strength to pass, the only road left for us is death. Chen Xiang had also heard about the matters of the Flying Dragon experience place before, which required one to have an extremely high realm and strength to enter. When the Myriad Tao Mausoleum opens, the 4 great divine sects will work together to open the transmission array outside the Myriad Tao Mausoleum. At that time, the people from the 4 great divine sects will lead the people from the other sects into the Myriad Tao Mausoleum. I must go and take a look. Chen Xiang mainly entered the Myriad Tao Mausoleum to go there. If he could get some good stuff there, it would not be bad. Chen Xiang felt that he had a good chance of winning against all the other alchemists, as long as it wasn't Alchemist Partic. 1p. Aiding in the compet. 1. Tie-in with the Tai Zun realm, he wouldn't feel any pressure. In the alchemist of the Tai Zun realm, there were still many strong existences. For example, the Master W.A.N.G. was extremely powerful, but it was a pity that they were half dead right now, and that was all because of Yu Jinggong. Chen Xiang, Yu Haorui went out alone. Do you want to follow him? Yu Jingming suddenly said to Chen Xiang. He left alone. Where did he go? He left the village. Chen Xiang's heart moved. At the auction, Chen Xiang had almost killed him, but he was afraid that it would cause a huge commotion and attract powerful Tai Zun realm rankers, preventing him from partic. 1p. Aiding in the pill refining compet. 1 Tian. He did not leave the village, and instead went to gather with some of the young genius disciples of Yuan's Hi plus Tao School. Yu Jingming told Chen Xiang the location. It was a hotel. When Chen Xiang arrived, he saw a few people that he was more familiar with. They were the Murong brothers, Liang Jinjun, Zhao Yunxiao and Gu Qingtian. Aren't these guys just outer sect disciples? Why would they be together with Yu Haorui? Chen Xiang had a good influence on them previously, because at that time, they had all rejected the famous Supreme Realm invitation from the Yuan's Hi plus Tao School and stayed in the outer sect to train, relying on their own strength to enter the inner sect. Chen Xiang had already changed his appearance. He was not afraid of them recognizing him. He walked into the hotel and saw Yu Haorui coming out to welcome them. Yu Haorui's face was full of smiles, not one bit depressed because he lost his gold pag. Oh, the Ganoderma, but his mood was actually so good. All of you are famous disciples of the Supreme Realm in the Yuan's Hi plus Tao School. There is no need to be polite to me. Yu Haorui chuckled, and then brought them all to the upper floor of the hotel. Chen Xiang was secretly shocked. The Murong brothers had actually entered the inner sect and acknowledged the overlords as their masters. No wonder Yu Haorui treated them so well. Other than the Murong brothers, there were also many other young true disciples of the Yuan's Hi plus Tao School. This heavenly refining conference had not only attracted the alchemists to attend, some of the overlords had also come to purchase pills, so they brought a lot of their young disciples. After Chen Xiang disappeared, he entered the hotel and went to the 3rd floor. There was a very spacious hall here, where Yu Haorui and the other young geniuses were all gathered. My friends, you have stayed in the outer sect before. Do you know a person called Chen Xiang? Yu Haorui asked after telling the Murong brothers to sit down. After Chen Xiang had escaped, Yu Jinggong and the others had not given up. However, after searching through that place for a while, they were still unable to find Chen Xiang. In this way, he would be able to obtain the inheritance of Chen Xiang's heavenly alchemy Dao line and alchemy technique. He had previously investigated Chen Xiang and knew that Chen Xiang had come from the outer sect. When Chen Xiang had first entered the outer sect, he had partic. 1p. Aided in many battles, thus it was very easy for Yu Haorui to find out about these things. I know him, but I'm not familiar with him. He just stayed in the outer sect for a short while and he already pass, said the inner sect entrance exam. We never saw him again. Gu Qingtian said, Brother Yu, what are you looking for him for? After this Chen Xiang came to the inner sect. He entered the Super Origin Dan Hall and stayed with the Master W. A.N.G. However, this fellow is extremely vicious. After killing the Master W. A.N.G., he took all the medicinal herbs in the Master W. A.N.G.'s treasure grounds. Right now, the entire Super Origin Dan Hall is searching for him. Yu Haorui said as he grinded his teeth, looking as if he was serious. After Chen Xiang heard this, he was very angry in his heart. He wished that he could immediately go out and slap Yu Haorui's mouth, then speak such nonsense. Master W. A.N.G. died in an abyss caused by his father, and now he was being falsely accused. Is this true? Is this true? Gu Qingtian didn't dare believe it, because he had fought with Chen Xiang before. He felt that Chen Xiang wasn't that kind of person. C2812. C2812 Yu Haorui could tell that Gu Qingtian had a pretty good impression of Chen Xiang from his expression, so he sighed. You don't even know your own face. You all don't know, at that time I also thought that Chen Xiang was a good guy. How would I have known that he was this kind of person? Chen Xiang could not hold it in any longer, and went to the entrance of the great hall, and knocked loudly with all his might. Who? Yu Haorui shouted in displeasure. I am Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang said. Yu Haorui was stunned for a moment. He did not expect that when he was about to say something bad about Chen Xiang had come here, and he did not know whether he should be happy or worry. Because Chen Xiang knew that the father and son duo had done all those dirty things. Yu Haorui immediately opened the door, and as expected, he saw Chen Xiang, and immediately shouted angrily, Chen Xiang, you shameless B.A.S.T.A.R.D. You actually have the face to look for me. Yu Haorui, you must be talking nonsense. They want to blame the death of Master W. A.N.G. on me. Humph, you father and son are too naive. Do you really think that Master W. A.N.G. is dead? Master W. A.N.G. is a genius in alchemy. He long ago cultivated a clone and a primordial spirit. Chen Xiang said coldly. You. It's obviously you who brought out the Master W. A.N.G. Before Yu Haorui could finish, Chen Xiang cut him off. Master W. A.N.G. is a Tai Zun realm. What right do you have to harm him with my strength? Moreover, your father is of the Tai Zun realm, so he is the one who deserves to be suspected the most. Yu Haorui did not know why Chen Xiang would suddenly appear at such a time either. He had to immediately inform his father, because this matter was extremely important, especially the matter of the Master W. A.N.G. being still alive. At that time they suspected that it was Chen Xiang, but felt that it was impossible. It was because there were many arrays in the Master W. A.N.G., and only those who were familiar with the arrays could take away the medicinal ingredients inside. Now that Chen Xiang said it, there was only one possibility. The ingredients were all taken away by the Master W. A.N.G.'s avatar. You are slandering me with your blood. My father is the Hall Master, and I am good friends with the Master W. A.N.G. Yu Haorui became anxious because he saw that Gu Qingtian and the others seemed to trust Chen Xiang more. Great. Your father was the one who tricked Master W. A.N.G. into hunting some dragon eagle, and then pushed him into some deep abyss. Chen Xiang, you slandered my father, you're courting death. Yu Haorui took out a sword and was about to stab Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang took a step forward, dodging the sword, and threw a slap fiercely landing on Yu Harui's face. Pow! Bang! With a clear sound, Yu Harui was knocked against the wall. Then, Chen Xiang walked over and picked Yu Harui up, and started to slap his face. You actually want to kill me? You still want my Dao Meridian, right? Chen Xiang did not hold back at all. As long as he did not kill the other party, he had nothing to be afraid of, because Gu Qingtian and the others had seen him attack first. Although fighting was not allowed in this village, when attacked by others, one could still teach them a lesson. A piece of trash like you dares to be so arrogant. As Chen Xiang spoke, he fiercely slapped Yu Harui's mouth a few more times, causing all of Yu Harui's teeth to fall off and blood to flow crazily from his mouth. They were very clear of Yu Harui's strength. Although Yu Harui had only just stepped into the 6GODS stage, his strength was still at the early stages of 6GODS stage, yet he was beaten up so ruthlessly by Chen Xiang. This only meant that Chen Xiang had also stepped into the 6GODS stage. Initially, Morong Jin thought that after he had entered the inner sect, his strength was close to Chen Xiang's, but he never thought that Chen Xiang had already stepped into the 6GODS stage, far Serpa. S. Sing them and a bright future. Yu Harui was also very surprised. He himself was an early-stage 6GODS stage, but he was unable to unleash his powers, because once he used them, he would always be scattered by a wave of energy. Scram! Chen Xiang grabbed Yu Harui and threw him out of the window as if he was throwing trash. Everyone, this fellow must be slandering me just now. He has done quite a few things like this. When he had first entered the Super Origin Dan Hall, he had been schemed against several times. Now, even the Master W.A.N.G. is screwed. The father and son duo plotted against us. Chen Xiang then told Gu Qingtian and the others about him entering the Super Origin Dan Hall, to gain their trust. If someone were to pursue the matter of him causing trouble here, then they could come forward to testify. Chen Xiang, don't worry. We have long since heard of some of Yu Harui's affairs, and would not completely trust him, said. He had fought with Chen Xiang before, and back then, Chen Xiang had held back, not injuring him at all. That was why he had a good impression of Chen Xiang. Liang Jinjuan's brother had also been taught by Chen Xiang, and since then he had become much better. Therefore, Liang Jinjun was secretly grateful to Chen Xiang in her heart. At this time, the few genius disciples all supported Chen Xiang. Then, thank you very much. I plan to partake. 1 P8 in the pill refining compet. 1. Tian, when that happens, I would like to invite everyone to come and support me. Chen Xiang laughed. If you need me to concoct any pills in the future, I will definitely help you all. Chen Xiang, you are still an alchemist. Mu Rongling exclaimed, amazing! With such strength, you actually know how to concoct pills. He only knows a little, and that's all thanks to the guidance of the Master W.A.N.G. It's a pity that the Master W.A.N.G's fleshly body has been destroyed, and only his soul is left. However, he will be able to cultivate it very quickly. Chen Xiang said. He did not tell them that the Master W.A.N.G. was inside one of his divine artifacts. After that, Chen Xiang chatted with them for a while before he left. Although Yu Harui had beaten Yu Harui up badly, he was not dead yet. Moreover, he had brought some people with him, and they carried him away right now. When Yu Harui saw his father, he immediately told his father about him meeting Chen Xiang. When Yu Jinggong heard this, his expression turned gloomy. He never thought that Master W.A.N.G. was still alive. This was something he did not expect, and now, only Chen Xiang knew where the Master W.A.N.G.'s clone was hiding. Father, what should we do now? Yu Harui's injuries had already healed a little as he said this with a sullen face. He was very unwilling to be beaten up by Chen Xiang in such a way. Humph, you are too reckless. Otherwise, he wouldn't have had the chance to fight back. I never expected that he would actually step into the 6G.O.D.S stage. Yu Jinggong was also thinking of a way. If Yuan S.H.I. plus Tao School knows that we have plotted against them, at that time we will be in a lot of trouble. It seems like we have no choice but to admit it, do you understand? Yu Haruo nodded. Master W. A.N.G's reputation was not small. Although many people did not know his real name, they were extremely familiar with the 3 words, Master W. A.N.G. Chen Xiang had told them yesterday that he wanted them to spread the news of the Master W. A.N.G's murder. Therefore, when Yu Jinggong woke up the next day, he was cursing in his heart. At this time, there were many friends of the Master W. A.N.G. in the hotel that wanted to ask him about this.